by for terminal count.
Overlook Horizon High Altitude Balloons, an Ontario County nonprofit.
This is no ordinary balloon.
What a view!
Over 110,000 feet.
This is incredible.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch.
Hey guys, Tori here from Overlook Horizon, coming to get live today, April 11th, for the second attempt for Falcon Heavy. This is the Space Lobster 2.0, the big event, the big mambo job. I'm excited. I'm so pumped for this. I was so excited yesterday, and then we had a scrub yesterday. We didn't even go live. It got scrubbed early before they even did prop loading, but I feel good about today. I feel great. We're looking at good weather conditions today. 90% go from the 45th Space Wing. That 90% does not include upper level winds though. Yesterday was 80% go, but it was the upper level winds that got us yesterday. And so those upper level winds are actually looking a whole lot better today. We're going to take a look at that here in just a minute because I want to show you what we were looking at yesterday, why they scrubbed for yesterday, and then we'll look at what today's weather looks like and how much better it is going to be. So I feel good. I feel good about today. Hopefully you feel good about today. Hopefully no appearances from the Space Lobster today because we want to see a triple landing. Not triple, but a triple landing. We got 2 side core boosters that'll be coming back and landing, return to launch sites. They'll be landing at Landing Zone 1 and Landing Zone 2 back at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. And then a 3rd center core booster landing out on the autonomous spaceport drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, in the Atlantic Ocean. This is just awesome. 3 booster landings, a Falcon Heavy, which is just awesome to see launch in general. It's going to be great. I'm excited. Whew, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm too pumped. I'm too excited. So, anyways, we already got people commenting. Oh wait, we got some people on the Periscope channel. I see a bunch of people over here. I got all the chats up. We're simulcasting on a whole bunch of different platforms. We got Periscope, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. All the chats are up. So send me your messages. Let me know if you got any questions or comments or just want to say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. We'll try to get to as many of them as we can here. But already on the Periscope, I see people are going, Space Lobster 2. What's the Space Lobster? So the Space Lobster, the legend of the Space Lobster came from Falcon Heavy last year, the demo flights. I don't know how much of the story I want to tell, but I suppose I should let you in on the inner circle here, let you in on the club. It's a bit of an embarrassing story, to be honest. But last year, during the Falcon Heavy, one of my earlier streams, not necessarily quite as polished, not that I'm polished now, but I'm doing the best I can. But one of my earlier streams, we were watching with the Falcon Heavy. We had a ton of people watching. We had like 200,000 people that watched our Falcon Heavy live stream last year. It'd be great if they watched it this year, but last year it was a big deal. We had the center core that crashed, the cherry red Tesla Roadster that went up and was flying around space and sending back views of the Earth. It was fantastic. And right in the middle of that, in the peak of that, my stream and everything I had up on my computer decided to play a Red Lobster commercial at about 10,000 decibels of volume, which was super embarrassing. But it turned into the Space Lobster legend. And everybody blames the Space Lobster for the center core not landing properly. The Space Lobster, the hashtag Space Lobster started trending on Twitter. I got so many pictures and memes of space lobsters and lobsters on Falcon Heavies, lobsters driving Tesla Roadsters, my head on lobsters, lobsters on Elon's head. It was crazy. I got so many of them. To this day, I still find brand new Space Lobster tweets that I haven't seen before. And I'm like, how did I not see this? Anyways, that's the legend of the Space Lobster, the quick legend. Basically a broadcast oops that turned into a big legend. And then, of course, we launched a lobster into space on our weather balloon flights. On Overlook Horizon 15, we launched our own Space Lobster up to just over 100,000 feet. That was last summer. Got some gorgeous pictures, auctioned off the lobster. It was fantastic. It's been a whole thing. So there you go. Now you're on the inner circle. You're part of the hashtag Space Lobster team, and we're here for Space Lobster 2.0, which is Falcon Heavy flying Arabsat 6A, communication satellite here today that we're flying. So, all right, there's my opening spiel. Let me see what you guys are all having to say. So hello to everybody here watching from New Mexico. Christian says the legend of the Space Lobster. Coffee Sith Lord is laughing about the Red Lobster commercial. Hello from Scotland. We got Scotland in the house here over on the Facebook channel. Hello, Stevie from Scotland. Some people want to know if I'm in Cape Canaveral. Unfortunately, no, I am not in Cape Canaveral. I'm also not at SpaceX headquarters, although despite what it looks like, it's just for looks, try to make it look nice. I'm actually in Rochester, New York, which I'm super bummed about because I know so many people that are in Cape Canaveral, Florida, but we're not in Cape Canaveral, Florida tonight, so unfortunately no live views from on site. I'll be watching the live broadcast along with you guys. We'll have it up full screen. We'll talk about it. We'll chat, and we'll get a good view of it for sure. It's just not from Cape Canaveral, unfortunately. But I know so many people down there. I got people that tweeted me and said they were down there, which I'm super jealous about. My cousin is down there, which is, I'm all flustered from that. But anyways, if you're down there, hopefully you get a great view of both the launch and the 2 landings. That will be fantastic. So launch time we're looking at is just under an hour. I should probably throw up the countdown here. Here, we'll throw it up on the screen here so you can see it. There we go. We'll throw the countdown up. So that's our countdown. It's not quite exact. It's probably off by a couple of seconds, but it's pretty close. So we're about 58 minutes for launch. So we got time. SpaceX will go live about 20 minutes prior to launch, but we will we'll follow along here, and I'll keep the clock up there so you know what's happening here. So anyways, 8 a.m. in Brisbane, Australia, says Christian. What else did I miss over on the YouTube channel? A lot of people asking about Mr. Steven. Yeah, a lot of people not sure what's happening with Mr. Steven. So Mr. Steven went out, not for the demo flight, but the last, not the Crew Dragon demo, but the last satellite launch started to go out like it was going to do a fairing catch. Mr. Steven, in case you forgot, is that's the boat with the big net on the back. The idea is it's supposed to catch the payload fairing to recover that and be able to reuse that. But after the last satellite launch with a regular payload fairing, it went out into the Atlantic Ocean. Some bad seas. It turned around, came back. Everybody was watching the tracking of the ship, and they're like, all right, they're not going to do the fairing recovery. And then it came back into port, and 2 arms were broken off, and they haven't put them back on yet. So it looked like it took a ton of damage. But nobody's really sure what's going on with Mr. Steven right now because the arms are not back on it, the arms that hold the net. So they have not put those back on, but it was tooling around out in the Atlantic Ocean a couple of days ago doing who knows what, just bouncing all over the place. It was kind of crazy to watch what they were doing. Looked like they were doing some speed tests or some trials or things like that. So seems like maybe it's still in, but not sure why they haven't repaired the arms on it, but it will not be in use today. No payload fairing catch today for Falcon Heavy, but they may, I don't know for sure, but they may soft land it in the water and then try to pick it up. They do have a ton of recovery ships that are out in the Atlantic Ocean, which kind of indicates that maybe they might do a soft landing and recover the payload fairing as well with one of those recovery ships. So we'll see if they mention it at all, but no Mr. Steven today, even though Mr. Steven is now on the East Coast. Let's see, bunch of our regulars over in the YouTube channel that I see Sebi, I see Stubby, I see Gregorius, our moderator, I see Chris Ford. Yeah, we got a ton of people over here. Pony, a lot of regulars that I recognize. Tyler, ton of people. So anyways, let's see. Trying to go back to some of the comments here that I missed. Will this video be better than the Israeli moon landing today? Yeah, unfortunately, sad news in the spaceflight community earlier today. I was live tweeting it if you were following along, but the Bereshit Israeli commercial lunar lander did make a landing attempt today. It was orbiting the moon. It successfully orbited the moon, and then it did its deorbit burn and was attempting to land today. During descent, had some problems with the IMU, the inertial measurement unit, and the main engine, and unfortunately, it went boom. It crashed into the surface of the moon, and it did not survive. So Bereshit did not land on the moon today as they had hoped. It was a huge bummer. If you were watching it live, you could see just all the energy get sucked out of the room, and the team that was working on it, they all just kind of, everything just went downhill from there. So unfortunately, sad day for the Bereshit team, but hopefully not a sad day overall for the space flight community, because I feel good. I feel good about this Falcon Heavy today. I think we're going to have a good day for Falcon Heavy. Let's see. Oh, somebody's heading to Rochester right now. Well, we're in Rochester, so we'll see you soon, maybe. Long time no see, says Elijah. Hello. Please give a shout out to Neil and Joanne and their first baby, Emma. Well, hello. Is it Neil? Yeah, Neil, Joanne, and first baby, Emma. Hello. Hi, do you recognize me, says Gavin. Well, I'm sure I've seen you before, but thanks for joining us here today. Whole family's watching for Jason. Thanks, Jason. Jason wasn't, I got to figure out what happened to Jason. Jason was a moderator on our channel, but it will not let me add you back as a moderator. For some reason, it took it off, and I can't add you back. I don't know, Jason. I was trying to figure that out. But I'm going to try to figure that out so you get back to being a moderator. Anyways, moment of silence for Bereshit, says Gregorius. Aliens from the dark side shot it down. I think maybe there's a space lobster on the dark side that took care of that Bereshit there, unfortunately. I mean, you don't want to see that happen. But it sounds like they're going to give it a second attempt. They actually did get the X Prize money, or at least they got $1 million from the X Prize Foundation. Even though they didn't land, they announced, and I just tweeted out a little while ago on Twitter, that they were actually going to still give them the money, that's pretty cool. Let's see. I'm going nuts. Did the core land on the barge? The camera went out and I can't find the info anywhere. Well, we haven't even launched yet, so nothing's happened yet. So if you're looking at the camera going out on the barge, you're probably looking at last year's Falcon Heavy, because we haven't even launched yet. We got 53 minutes until launch. So you got time. We haven't even launched yet for this Falcon Heavy. Let's see. Meet us at the. Somebody wants to meet out in Henrietta tomorrow. Jason's going to yell loudly at YouTube to try to get his moderator status back. I really don't know what happened. I promise I did try to add you back. It wouldn't let me. Holding our breath for another launch in California. Hey, people from Colombia. We got on the Facebook channel. Scott Braun is over on Merritt Island, just 5 miles from Launchpad 39A. So I'm super jealous of you as well, Scott. A lot of people are going to get a great view. It looked like a madhouse yesterday down at Cape Canaveral. Jetty Park was full. That's a great viewing spot. I've viewed an Atlas launch from Jetty Park. Playa Linda Beach, which is north of the launch pad, was packed. They ended up closing that down because it was at capacity. You got the NASA press site, the Saturn V Center, the NASA Causeway. Everybody was all full up yesterday with people looking to watch the Falcon Heavy launch yesterday. But unfortunately, it would not be yesterday. So anyways, and that is because of our upper level winds. So while we're talking upper level winds here, let me see if we can get our graphics out, and let's take a look together and we'll see what happened yesterday. Which screen do I want to show you? I want to show you this screen. All right, how about, okay. There we go. That looks good. So this is today's winds. These are the current wind conditions down in Cape Canaveral, Florida, right over here. So your greens and your yellows, those are relatively low winds here. I can hover the mouse over. This is 31 miles per hour down in the Cape Canaveral area. This is at about 12 kilometers, 12,000 meters. So these are what they're considering like the upper level winds. When you're looking at upper level winds, this is a lot of what they're looking at. Today, not too bad, not crazy fast. And a lot of what they're looking at too is not just the wind speed, but the wind shear. Basically meaning the difference from the surface level winds or the wind layers as you start to go up. So this is a little closer to the ground. You can see it's actually going a different direction, but it's not too fast. So we're not looking too bad from a wind standpoint. A lot calmer than we were looking yesterday. If we go back and we look at yesterday, so we'll go back to our 12 kilometer altitude here, and we'll look at yesterday's wind. So here's where the problem was. This was the problem with your upper level winds yesterday, is you had this front right there. I guess it's, no, this way. There you go. The front, it's this, you can see the line right there. I need like the weather person green screen, but I can't, I'm not big enough. I could probably do it if I stood up. But anyways, that front, you can clearly see the line, and it's right directly over Cape Canaveral, Florida. And what they had expected, so this is 5 p.m. This was closer to the opening of the launch window yesterday. They expected by 8 p.m. or 8:30 towards the end of the launch window, if we scroll forward like this, they expected that front to push farther south and get out of the way. because it's really these dark pinks and dark reds here that are no good. These were 125 miles per hour on the winds, and it was too close. They got to get these out of the way so they can lift off and actually get the rocket up above the wind layer there. But it just would not get out of the way, and that was the wind conditions that we were looking at yesterday, those upper level winds that scrubbed the launch. And if you look down at the lower layers, the ground level winds were actually pretty calm. But what happens when you have those calm ground level winds and then you go up and you hit 100 mile per hour winds in the upper atmosphere? It's like the rocket slamming into a wall. I mean, those 100 mile per hour winds, wow, I can't say that. They can snap the rocket in half like a toothpick. I mean, the rockets have a lot of vertical strength, not a lot of horizontal strength. So once those fuel tanks get depleted and they're really just pressurized helium starting to fill up in there, I mean, there's not a lot of strength left horizontally for those. So if you got the engines trying to gimbal and keep the rocket on track, and then you hit these 100 mile per hour winds, bad news for a rocket. So that kind of wind shear is not good, and that's what they were. That's not what they were looking at yesterday. That ended up scrubbing the launch, or technically postponing the launch. Everybody says scrub, but from what I hear, the official scrub term is only if they start propellant loading. That's when they call it a scrub. Everything else is it's postponed. But I don't know. I still call it scrubbed. In my head, if I get excited for the launch and I think it might happen, and then you cancel it, that's a scrub for me. It's a very scientific definition on my end. So that's the definition that I'm looking at here. So that's what we were looking at yesterday for the upper level winds, unfortunately. But looking much better today here. Now I got to get my comments back up. I don't have enough. I got a lot of computer monitors, but not enough computer monitors where I can see all the comments and have all my graphics up all at the same time. Let's see. So, let's see. Coffee Sith Lord is telling me how to do the moderator. Yeah, I know how to do the moderator thing. It just wouldn't let me. It kept telling me that I couldn't select Jason's name to actually make him. So, anyways, hey, started watching your channel with last year's Falcon Heavy. Been here ever since. So thanks, Moritz Ernst. Always glad to join you watching awesome rocket launch. Greeting from the German living in Scotland. Well, hello. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate the kind words. What have we got to look forward to in 2019 with planned dates, launching more rockets? Yeah, there's a couple. It's a little bit of a smaller and lighter schedule from a rocket launch standpoint. Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that you got coming up for SpaceX is going to be the crewed flight, and we also have in-flight abort coming up too, hopefully in May. We got a CRS mission at the end of this month, so we got CRS coming up. Got a Starlink launch. We've got the in-flight abort test for the Crew Dragon, then the actual crewed mission of Crew Dragon. So a lot happening this year for space flights. That's kind of the big stuff. Let's see. Oh, and another Falcon Heavy launch. Right, the STP-2 mission. That's also coming up as well. The STP-2 mission is going to be kind of interesting because for this mission here, this is going to be a good segue into my next graphic here. So we'll segue over to this graphic here. Oh, that's wrong button. Let's see. What button do I want? I want, this screen. There we go. One-man production outfit here. Anyway, we were talking about the STP-2 mission, and I'm going to come back to that. It is related, I promise. But so this is the map of what's happening here today for the Falcon Heavy launch. So we're lifting off from pad 39A in Cape Canaveral, Florida. Same launch pad that the Crew Dragon demo mission launched from just last month here, and that's one of the big launch pads that the Saturn V launched from, the Space Shuttle launched from. A lot of activity has happened over the years, a lot of historical activity from pad 39A. So here's the two launch pads. This is the Kennedy Space Center over here. This is 39B, where they are intending to launch the SLS rocket sometime in hopefully the next couple of years. This is 39A, where that SpaceX now has a long-term lease on 39A. That's where the Falcon Heavy launches from. That's where the Crew Dragons will launch from. And then they do launch just regular Falcon 9s from 39A as well. But SpaceX has 39A. They also have Pad 41 Pad 40. 41 is ULA up here. Pad 40 is a Falcon 9 launch pad. Falcon 9 exclusive for there. They don't do any Falcon Heavies from there. But anyway, so we're launching from 39A today at Cape Canaveral. It's going to make pretty much a direct track to the east here. Following this, all these colored blocks here, these are NOTAMs and warnings to ships and aircraft about, basically stay out orders, like get out of here, we got something happening. So these are the NOTAMs and the keep out orders for ships and aircraft that are coming out here. And then way downrange here, this is the planned landing site here where the autonomous spaceport drone ship is. That's, of course, I Still Love You. That is out here in the Atlantic Ocean, almost 1,000 kilometers downrange. I think it's like 967 kilometers. That's a long way out there, much longer than much farther than it usually is. So the autonomous spaceport drone ship is way out there today. But where this ties in with the STP-2 mission, the STP-2 mission is actually so light that they intend to have the drone ship only about 50 kilometers offshore. This is almost 1,000 kilometers offshore. For STP-2, that will be almost like 50 kilometers offshore. They're actually going to do a boost back burn and turn the Falcon 9 around, the center core around, and land it on the drone ship. So it'll be much closer for STP-2 later this year, but not for this mission. For this mission, it's way out there. So people sitting at Cape Canaveral, no chance of seeing this come down, the center core come down, but definitely a chance of seeing the two side boosters come down. Those two side boosters will be coming right back to Cape Canaveral, the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, so that you will actually be able to see and hear the landing. You should hear the engines probably, and you're also going to hear 6 sonic booms. 3 per core. So you basically get the engine bells, the landing legs, and the grid fins. Each of them, as they go transonic, they create that sonic boom that you would hear. So you actually get 3 rapid fires, like bam, 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 bam. Crazy. I really want to see that or hear that in person someday, but not today, unfortunately. But to give you an idea on what we're looking at here as well. So this is kind of the aerial view, the top-down view. But we can also switch over and look at this graphic. This is from last year's Falcon Heavy launch that kind of gives you an idea on what the flight profile is on how the Falcon Heavy is going to fly. So you're going to get liftoff and launch. It's going to do the pitch and roll and start heading into orbits. Then you're going to get booster separation. And one thing that a lot of people forget during booster separation is that those boosters actually are still ascending as they separate. And so those boosters generally climb, do a boost back burn. So they kind of go up, come back, and then they will come back in for the landing. Now, as we saw on the CRS 16 mission, it was 16, right? Back in December, those side boosters, they actually target the water just away from the landing sites, just for safety reasons. So if anything goes wrong, they will land in the water, which actually happened on the last CRS mission. One of the grid fins locked up, and they couldn't. Those grid fins actually steer and kind of push the Falcon 9, or in this case, the Falcon Heavy side cores. It pushes them towards the land and gets them a little bit closer. And that did not happen that way in December for the CRS mission. So it actually landed in the water. But today, I feel good. We're going to have both side core boosters. They're going to be pushing out. Everything's going to be great. You get 2 landings, 6 sonic booms back at landing zone 1 and landing zone 2. Hopefully with some amazing imagery like we saw last time with the last Falcon Heavy. And then your center core will continue on because they throttle down that center core as they're ascending, and there will still be fuel in that center core, so they can continue on with that center core after they jettison the side boosters. Then eventually they'll separate the side booster, and the second stage or the upper stage will continue on. The center core will turn around. It will do an entry burn and then a landing burn. I don't believe it's doing a boost back burn. It says boost back burn in this. This is an old graphic, but I don't believe they're doing a boost back burn today. I think it's just an entry burn and a landing burn. And then hopefully last time we did not get a successful landing of the center core, all thanks to that space lobster, right? Am I right? So hopefully we get a good landing today. Actually, the reason for the center core failure last time was because lack of TTEB. TTEB is the igniter fluid that lights those engines, and apparently they ran out. I don't know how that happens, but they ran out of TTEB. They couldn't ignite all the engines. They only ignited one. They needed 3, and it went kaboom, kind of like Beresheet did today trying to land on the moon, unfortunately. So there we go. There was my long answer on the STP Falcon Heavy there. We went on there for a little while. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Pony noticed. She said, Tori, you have your own pins. Yes, we do have our own pins. Right there. I got one of my pins on. I got a whole bag of them. We're going to give away a pin if we get a successful launch. But we've got Overlook Horizon pins. Where are they? Here you go. Look at this. Are they pins? Or they're buttons. They're buttons, technically. I got to hold it in here so it's in the light. But there you go. A little Overlook Horizon. It's a button, right? Not a pin. But anyways, they're kind of cool. I threw one on there. See if anybody noticed. And Pony noticed, I see. Thanks, Pony. Thanks for noticing. When's this going up? 38 minutes we got. Where is it? Right here. 38 minutes. That's the T-minus countdown clock. SpaceX will go live at about T-minus 20 minutes. Let's see. What else did we miss while I was chatting it up about STP2 there? Must buy more monitors. I know, right? I have 4 monitors. You'd think that'd be enough. I mean, you can't see my setup here. But if you're on our Discord channel, I did put a picture of my setup out there. So if you're into Discord, there's a link in the YouTube description down below. You can join our Discord channel and kind of geek out and nerd out with other weather balloon and SpaceX and science and technology fans. We talk about all kinds of stuff on the Discord channel. But yeah, check out the Discord link in the YouTube description if you want to jump in and geek out with us. Let's see, what else did I miss? Where will Blue Origin launch from? Blue Origin has a Texas launch site. Is that right? I think that's right. They're in. I want to say Texas. Aren't they in West Texas? Now I'm drawing a blank, but I think they're in West Texas, and that's where they're. I don't know if that's where they're intending to launch their. I think that's where they're intending to launch at least the new Shepard, that's the suborbital platform, and then New Glenn, which is the orbital one, that will launch from Cape Canaveral. I don't know what pad. Let's see. Weedle says SpaceX should pay you to broadcast from the launch site. I would love to do that. That would be fantastic. Anybody, anytime, hit me up, SpaceX. I'm ready. I'm ready for the call up. Let's see. Do you think we've been on the? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna skip the moon conspiracy questions. I would probably wear the button. Come on out tomorrow night. So we're gonna have to give away some buttons, I think, today. Let's see. Oh, everybody likes the buttons. Look at this. I didn't know if the buttons were gonna be a big hit, but apparently everybody likes them. Tomorrow's the 38th anniversary of STS-1 launch. My goodness, how far we have come. I agree. That's awesome. Is there a date for the capsule abort mission in May, heading to Florida for a vacation? I don't think we have a firm date on the Crew Dragon in-flight abort yet. There's no firm date yet, but it's coming up soon. Let's see. Will you cover the launch? Yep, we're going to cover the launch here once SpaceX goes live. We got about 15 minutes before that happens. T-minus 20 minutes, that's roughly when they go live. So we will check them out here in a minute. I got some other stuff that we'll take a look at to keep your brain occupied while we're waiting for SpaceX to get started. A bunch of people jumped over on the Discord channel already. I see all the, so we've got the Discord chat up, so I can see everybody that's chatting on our Hangout channel on the Discord chat. So I see some people jumped over there already. Good to see. Yeah, Gregorius says you haven't added the button to the shop. No, I did not add the button to the shop. That's a good question. I didn't know, I just got the buttons, but I should have added them to the shop. I did not. After the broadcast, I will add the buttons to the shop so that they're there. Let's see. Glad to be here, says Coffee Jedi. We got two a lot of people interested. Oh, that's probably the same coffee. That's Coffee Sith Lord. Coffee Sith Lord and Coffee Jedi are. I'm assuming they're the same people. They got to be the same, right? What are the chances? Are you an astronaut? No, I'm not an astronaut. I would I would consider it. I don't know. I don't know if I would do the Mars thing. We've talked about this in previous broadcasts, but I don't know if I would go to Mars. But I'd go to the moon. That'd be fun. Or the space station. That'd be cool. I would love to go to Mars if it just wasn't such a long trip. I would definitely go there. It's just I don't want to take the time to go there. I'm very impatient. Let's see. What else did I miss here for comments? Fueling has begun. Oh, right. Yeah. So fueling. I didn't even check. I got my phone up here. That's got the Twitter machine. So prop loading was supposed to start about 15 minutes ago. I assume it did because I did not get any major alerts here on my phone that would have said otherwise. Yeah, fueling was intended, and this is a good segue. We can go over to the timeline here. I just want to check out my phone here real quick, just to make sure I'm not missing any big news that the launch has changed or something has happened or blah, blah, blah. So, but I don't see anything yet. Falcon Heavy is breathing, people say. So there's life, there's activity, it's venting. So that's good news. The loading is well underway now by about 10 minutes, or at least 15 minutes actually. We should be underway for prop loading. There you go. Confirmed. Prop load is underway. That was at 5:47, so that was about 15 minutes ago. They started propellant loading. That's RP1, the rocket grade kerosene and liquid oxygen being loaded into all three cores and the second stage as well. Let's see what else. Oh man, so many Twitter notifications. Trying to filter through and see if I missed any super important ones from like SpaceX or something. Hashtag Space Lobster 2. I see those hashtags coming through already. Yeah, so I think it looks like we're on track and good to go so far. So let's look at the timeline here, since we started talking about fuel loading and such. We'll jump over to our timeline here so we can see what's happening here. So here's our mission patch here. Kind of a cool mission patch. I like this for the Falcon Heavy. This is the SpaceX broadcast when that goes live, so everybody doesn't panic. We're gonna wait and we'll see them when they're up there. Let's talk timeline here since we started into that a little bit here. So here's a timeline for today's events. So the very first thing, that's at T-minus 53 minutes. That's when the launch director verifies that they are go for propellant loading. That's the RP1 and the liquid oxygen. They start that about 45 minutes prior to launch. Now this is a little bit different than the Falcon 9 because we got three cores on there. So slightly different. And this is also different than the last Falcon Heavy because this is a Block 5, all Block 5 Falcon Heavy. The last one was a Block 4 Falcon Heavy. All three cores were Block 4. This time, all three cores, Block 5. That means increased power, better reusability. So a lot of improvements for Block 5. Landing legs are much improved for reusability. You've got the grid fins that have been improved. You've got the engine power and performance that have been improved. So a lot of improvements for Block 5 compared to Block 4. And this is going to be the first time that they've flown a Block 5 Falcon Heavy. We've done a bunch of Block 5 Falcon 9s, but no Block 5 Falcon Heavies. This will be the first one, but the second Falcon Heavy overall. So anyway, so you get the fuel loading, then they'll count it all the way down. That comprises most of the pre-launch here is fuel loading. They're going to pressurize the tanks, get everything ready to go. They'll verify that they're go for launch, and then piece of cake, liftoff, right? So that's going to happen at about 6:35. That's the opening of the launch window at 6:35. The launch window goes until I think 8:32, so it's just under 2 hours that they have to launch. So if something does go wrong and they have to hold the launch, they do have time to recycle. So a lot of times what you'll see, if they hold, let's fingers crossed there's no holds, but if they have to hold, you would see them hold the clock and then reset it to T-minus 15. If it's under T-minus 15, they would reset it to T-minus 15. Then it takes them a few minutes to reset everything, and then they would potentially continue on with a new launch time. But hopefully we won't see that. We're just going to lift off right at 6:35. So anyways, you're going to get liftoff. You'll see max Q. You'll get BECO, which is the booster engine cutoff. That's about 2.5 minutes after launch. Those will separate, turn around, boost back burn back towards the launch site. Then you're going to actually have you'll have MECO, which is the center engine. That's the main engine cutoff, the center core shut down. That will separate. Then you'll have fairing deployments. The side boosters will do an entry burn. The center core will do an entry burn. The side boosters will land. The second stage will cut off. The center core will land. And then eventually, about 20 minutes later, the second stage will restart to circularize or actually it's an elliptical orbit. It's going to go to geostationary transfer orbit, but it will relight again, and then we'll have deployment of the satellite 34 minutes after launch. Whew! Did you get all that? You got it all? All right, there's going to be a quiz later. You got it? Good. Okay. Okay, your brain is tired. Let's see. Love this patch. It is a pretty cool patch. I do like that mission patch. Will you be showing the launch on this channel? Yep, it'll be coming up soon, about 9 minutes. We'll switch over to the actual launch. Let's see. Fueling is confirmed to be proceeding. Yep, we're good to go with fueling. How many things during the pre-launch must go right? Do you know the number? I don't know the actual number. I mean, there's got to be hundreds of things that have to go right. I mean, everything has to go right. They don't launch if something doesn't go right. So generally everything has got to go right. But I mean, you're talking, it depends on how you want to count it. I mean, you're talking every component, every switch, every valve, every electronic system, every talkback system. There's all kinds of things that are on board. Fueling systems, personnel issues, personnel system. I mean, everything has got to be on point. Weather. So there's a lot of things. I don't have a number for that, but there are a lot of things that have to go right to make sure that they will launch. So, let's see. Can't wait for the start already. Every one of them has to go right. Let's see. What else did we? Yeah. So we're in good shape here. Let's see. We can look at a couple other things here before we jump over to launch. We got about 7 minutes until. Well, actually, SpaceX tweeted out that they weren't going to go live until 15 minutes before launch, which is strange. I thought they said they were going to go live in the press kit. They said they were going to go live 20 minutes before launch, but we'll see. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. At some point, they'll go live, and we'll switch over to that. Let's see. Exactly. Everything has to. Michael has a good point on the Periscope channel. Everything has to go right, but it only takes one thing to go wrong for it to fail. So yeah, that's why everything's got to go right. Because if something goes wrong, then we're gonna have a bad day. And it would be a bad day for. We don't even want to talk about it because it would be a bad day for all of spaceflight, not just SpaceX, not just the Falcon Heavy, but probably affect the Falcon 9 and the NASA missions and the crew. It would affect everything. It'd just be awful. So we're not going to talk about it. That's it. That's all we're going to say about it. We're just going to think good thoughts and everything's going to be fine for today, right? What we really want to see, we really want to see these boosters land, right? So this is right here. This is what we're looking at. This is what we want to see. I mean, we want to see the satellite launch too, but this is what I'm looking forward to right here. The double side booster landing. How awesome was this last time around? That was so amazing to see the double booster landing last time and see those two Falcon 9 cores standing tall on landing zone 1 and landing zone 2. That was just amazing. I am super excited. I really hope to see this again today because that was one of the most amazing things I've seen in space flights, is to see those two side core boosters come down, make side-by-side landings like that. It was just fantastic. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's what we're looking forward to today. We'll watch it one more time. Watch it one more time, right? You can't get enough of this. Just awesome. So that's what we're hoping for today. I want to see that. I also want to see. Obviously, you want to see the actual launch itself, the power of the launch, the power of the engines. See those all launch and everything go well there too. And here's another video here that I was going to throw up here for you that we can take a look at before we actually get to launch. This was in the horizontal assembly facility for SpaceX as they were putting it together. It's kind of a hyperlapse here. Let's see. We'll try to cut over here like this. So here's kind of a hyperlapse of them assembling it, bringing the side cores together, strapping them on. They had to lift the whole thing up, get the transport erector in there. The transport erector, that's what brings it out to the launch pad and then actually lifts it vertical once it gets to the launch pad. But this was basically the assembly process here. And in the background, you see there's a Falcon 9 core in the background. That's from the Crew Dragon demo mission back there in the background there. So you can see it's a little scorched, a little sooty. That's from Crew Dragon, way back there in the horizontal assembly facility here for SpaceX. So a lot happening over there at SpaceX here. Not just the Falcon Heavy in there. They've got, obviously there was something happening with the, they moved it a little bit in the hyperlapse for the Falcon 9 core there. So anyways, couple little tidbits that I wanted to make sure you saw that SpaceX had tweeted out at some point. Let's see, what else do we got that we can show you before we get to the SpaceX stuff, the broadcast that comes up. Tori wants to see the green flash. Right, I do like the green flash. I like the little T-tab flash right before the engines launch. That's as the T-tab, the igniter fluid there that actually lights the engine, it sparks green. And so you'll see, if you look closely at the engine bells right before liftoff, you'll see that little quick green flash before the engines light. While they work fast, says Aaron. Yeah, they're right. They were moving there. Let's see. Hope they don't mirror the cameras like last time. Yeah, that's a good memory from Mezzi there. They had a little accident in the broadcast. They had the two side booster cameras, and they were actually the same camera side by side. It was supposed to be one booster and the other booster, but it was actually the same camera angle, just shown twice on the screen. So let's see. This is going to be awesome. I know, I'm super excited for this. Real time. Right now it's 6:12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on April 11th, 2019. We got about 22 minutes to launch. 6:35 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time is the opening of the window, and they're intending to launch right at the opening of the window. That's what we're scheduled for here right now. So let me take a look at the Twitter machine. See, no, I haven't missed any other comments or anything like that. If anybody's got any Space Lobster comments or memories or any memes or anything like that you want to send over with the hashtag Space Lobster 2. I like that. I like that one. Well, you could send over hashtag Space Lobster, but I kind of like the Space Lobster 2. So if you want to do that, you can tweet us over here at OLHCN on Twitter here, and we'll see if we can get to them after launch, depending on how many we get or what happens during the launch. All right, I'm gonna get a drink out of my big Falcon Heavy mug here. Kind of chroma keys out the black part of the mug. I don't know why that is, but yeah, that's a big mug. There's a lot of coffee. Let's see. Oh, P. Richard is down in the basement he's got the volume cranked. He's ready for the triple sonic booms. That's a good plan right there. I like that. I'm going to try to be quiet during the launch because I also want to hear the power of it. I don't know if I'll be able to contain myself, but let's see. How are the winds? Winds are much better today. We looked at winds a little bit earlier. Ray's son wants to be an astronaut. Awesome. Good encourage that for sure. The sky here on Merritt Island looks awesome. Clear blue. That's from Scott over on the Facebook channel, or Facebook page, I guess. So yeah, we've got apparently clear skies, according to Scott's reports. And I've heard nothing bad as far as the winds go. They were looking good on radar. So we'll see what comes up here. Richard says just don't press the Lobster commercial button. I'm still waiting on a Red Lobster sponsorship. I feel like they ought to be knocking on us. I mean, we got we took that Space Lobster thing on quite the journey. Waiting for that sponsorship. Sailboats in the no-go zone. Don't tell me that. Is there a wayward boat out there? We don't want that. Let's see. Oh, there we go. The SpaceX broadcast has gone live right at T-minus 20 minutes. So they're starting the broadcast now. They're just kind of on the title screen. So we'll switch over to it once they start. Let's see. SpaceX stream is up. Let's see what else. Yes, we will show the launch on here. Ashley's wondering if we're going to show the launch. We will show the launch here shortly. We're just waiting for SpaceX to get up and running. The stream has started. Nobody's there yet. It's just their intro music. So I'll switch over to it once they get off the intro music. Let's see. I'm just reading through comments here. See if I missed anything. I don't think so. I think we got most of them here. And then I guess we could take a look and see. Did I cover everything that I wanted to cover? Oh, we had some stats we could take a look at here real quick before we get to launch. Right? Yeah, there we go. A couple of stats here real quick for you. 76th SpaceX launch, second Falcon Heavy, but first Block 5 Falcon Heavy. 17th SpaceX launch from 39A. First Falcon Heavy for this year. There will be 2 this year. There's 2 scheduled. STP-2 a little bit later this year. That's for the Air Force. 4th SpaceX launch for this year. A little bit of a lighter payload or lighter launch schedule so far for this year, but not a big deal. I mean, SpaceX had a big year last year. They had like 21 or 22 flights last year. It was a big year for SpaceX. So, I mean, having a lighter schedule, not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, they packed a lot in last year. That was crazy. So, and this, for both the center core and the 2 side boosters, this is going to be the first flight for all of those. Brand new Block 5 center cores and side boosters there. So these are all brand new. And actually, they're intending to reuse them. If they all land successfully, they're intending to reuse them for the STP-2 mission coming up. So hopefully we should actually we're going to see that Block 5 reusability, because these are going to land, come back, get slightly refurbished, and then go out on a reused reused Falcon Heavy, essentially, except for the upper stage. From what I heard, though, I think they do have another center core that they either may use, or maybe it's just a contingency center core in case something happens. Space Lobster shows up again today and takes a center core from us. Maybe it's just a contingency plan, but I've heard that they do have another center core available. So let's see. How many tons can the Falcon Heavy lift? I think I want to say it's like 100. Isn't it 100 tons to low Earth orbit? Or maybe it's 100 tons to geostationary transfer orbit? I know the 100 tons sticks in my head. If somebody wants to verify that for me. I don't know that stat off the top of my head. Did they say why Barra sheet failed? So what I heard during the broadcast is they had some IMU issues, that's the inertial measurement unit, and main engine issues. So likely something happened with sensors there that failed, and then the engine cut off too early, and it crash landed into the moon too fast. Let's see. Looks like they're going live. So I suppose I gotta switch over to that, and we will finally see. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get it. We're gonna finally see the Falcon Heavy launch today. I'm so excited. I can't contain myself here. This is absolutely nuts. We're gonna switch over to it. We'll let them talk for a little bit. I'll maybe comment in some of the quiet parts, but stick around after launch. We got some giveaways that we'll do after launch. And of course, we'll chat it up a little bit more too after launch. So stick around after launch. But let's watch this. This is going to be, look at that. This is going to be awesome. Here we go.
You're looking at a live view of the Falcon Heavy on historic launch pad 39A at Kennedy Space Center, awaiting liftoff at 6:35 p.m. local time. Welcome to our live webcast of the Falcon Heavy Arabsat 6A mission from SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California. My name is Jesse Anderson, and I'm a manufacturing engineer here at SpaceX. I'm so excited to be here with you today, along with my co-hosts, bringing you coverage of the second launch of Falcon Heavy. It's the first Falcon Heavy launch carrying a payload for a customer, and tonight our customer is Arabsat.
And I'm Alex Siegel. I'm a material planner here at SpaceX. We first flew our Falcon Heavy vehicle a little more than a year ago. It is the world's most powerful operational rocket by a factor of 2. With 28 engines, 3 boosters, 3 separation events, and 3 landing attempts, there's going to be a lot of activity happening all at once. The payload tonight is a geostationary communications satellite, which will provide state-of-the-art communication services to customers in the Middle East and Africa.
Tonight's launch window is about 2 hours long, and we're planning to launch at the top of that window. If we're unable to launch tonight, our backup window opens up on Saturday, April 13th. We're currently at T-minus 14 minutes and counting, and all systems are go in Cape Canaveral.
Today, Falcon Heavy will deliver the Arabsat 6A payload to its intended orbit more than 20,000 miles above the Earth's equator. That's significantly higher than normal, which is why we're flying a Falcon Heavy. Now let's take a closer look at the rocket. Falcon Heavy is essentially 3 Falcon 9 rockets strapped together, which means it can carry much larger payloads not only to Earth orbit, but to the Moon and Mars as well. Like the Falcon 9, Falcon
Oh no, what happened to my stream?
Heavy is a 2-stage launch vehicle. The big difference, of course, is that the Falcon Heavy first stage is comprised of 3 cores, and Falcon 9 only has 1. Each one of these cores has 9 Merlin 1D engines, making for a total of 27 engines overall, as you can see on your screen. Now, altogether, these engines produce over 5 million pounds of thrust, equal to 18 747s at takeoff. In fact, the engines produce so much power that we don't run them at full thrust all at once until after liftoff. For the mission today, each one of these 3 Falcon 9 boosters is brand new. It's also going to be the first time we are flying Falcon Heavy with our upgraded Block 5 cores, which feature more lift capacity, a beefed-up heat shield, and other changes to make the boosters more reliable and easier to reuse.
During ascent, Falcon Heavy will throttle its thrust up and down on both side boosters and the center core to balance aerodynamic and structural loads on the vehicle. About 70% of the way through the first stage burn, the 2 side boosters will separate and come back to Earth for a simultaneous landing at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station on Landing Zone 1 and Landing Zone 2. At this point, the mission will proceed just like a standard Falcon 9 flight. The center core will keep firing for another minute, then we'll perform a standard stage separation from the second stage. We will attempt to land the center core on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, which is currently stationed about 535 nautical miles off the coast of Florida in the Atlantic Ocean.
Good view for now.
It's worth mentioning that for this mission, bringing back the center core is challenging. If we are able to land all 3 cores tonight, it will be particularly exciting. The second stage is exactly the same as any other Falcon 9 flight. Tonight, the second stage will be sending our payload to geosynchronous transfer orbit. The spacecraft will then maneuver into a geostationary orbit more than 20,000 miles above the Earth's equator. Now, to put that into perspective, that's equivalent to almost an entire trip around the world, traveling along the Earth's equator.
Speaking of the satellite, it is safely enclosed inside the 17-foot diameter payload fairing, which is the pointed cone on the very top of the rocket. This protects the payload from aerothermal loads, heating, and contamination during ascent. Now, once we reach the vacuum of space, we will jettison the fairing as the second stage continues on its journey to orbit. While Mr. Steven, our ship, will not be supporting today's mission, we do plan to recover the fairing pieces from the ocean using our recovery ships Go Searcher and Go Pursuit.
There's that soft landing we talked about earlier.
The tall structure next to the rocket, which we call the fixed service structure. Its primary function is to provide passengers access to the Crew Dragon vehicle during crewed missions. But since we do not have any passengers aboard today's flight, the fixed service structure does not have a role to fill. Now let's check in on how the countdown is going.
Good Thursday afternoon.
Hey,
I'm John Innsbrucker, the Falcon Principal Integration Engineer at SpaceX. We are T-minus 10 minutes, 28 seconds from the launch of the Falcon Heavy. As I like to say in my updates, the SpaceX team is working no significant issues and is on time for launch.
All right.
Now, Falcon Heavy rolled out to the pad with the payload early Wednesday morning and went vertical about 6 hours later. Now, after yesterday's scrub, the vehicle remained vertical on the pad. The pad deck was cleared at about T-minus 8 hours to begin today's hazardous operations. Just before we began the webcast, the SpaceX launch director pulled the 9 members of the launch team and got a go for both propellant loading and for launch. Now, we're currently loading propellant on all 3 first-stage boosters and the second stage. Now, our propellants are an oxidizer, liquid oxygen, and a fuel, kerosene. Why did we pick these 2? Well, obviously, in space, there's no oxygen needed to support combustion. So we bring our own as liquid oxygen. It's readily available, and it supports efficient combustion. We chill it to get it as dense as we can in order to maximize how much we can load onto the rocket. Our fuel is RP1, essentially a purified kerosene. It is safe, easily available, has a lot of history. The Saturn V first stage flown from this very pad on the moon missions used liquid oxygen and kerosene. Now on the spacecraft side, the Arabsat 6A team began transfer to internal power at T-minus 21 minutes, and just a few minutes ago they completed that. They are go for launch. Now for tonight's mission, we're using the Falcon Heavy to place the satellite into an orbit with an apogee near 90,000 kilometers. This is much higher than the apogee of a normal geotransfer orbit. With this higher apogee, it is more efficient for the satellite to maneuver into its final geo orbit. The range is currently green. They are prepared to support today's mission. And for the weather, the good news is the upper altitude winds are much lower today, so both ground level and upper altitude winds are go for launch. No worries there.
All right.
Now, as Jesse mentioned, we did start the day with a 2-hour launch window. However, now that we are into LOX loading, we don't have the ability to hold the countdown. If there is an issue in the last minutes, there isn't enough time in the window to stop, reload the cold liquid oxygen, and still launch today. There is a backup date, though, this Saturday, April 13th at the same time. Now, as I've said before, launch is hard, and Falcon Heavy is no exception. We are essentially counting down 3 rockets simultaneously. So the SpaceX team is going to be conservative in case anything pops up in the last minutes. But as the energy from the team gathering below me outside of the Mission Control Center is growing, we are go at T-minus 7 minutes and 20 seconds.
As we mentioned earlier, the payload being launched tonight is for our customer Arabsat, one of the world's top satellite providers in the Arab world, reaching tens of millions of homes in more than 80 countries. Arabsat 6A, which was built by Lockheed Martin, is a high-capacity telecommunications satellite that will deliver television, radio, internet, and mobile communications to customers in the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. Here's a quick message from our customer.
One world, one heart.
You might have
a world.
So they got some music in here, which if you watch the stream before, if they have music, I can't play it. Otherwise, YouTube freaks out. They give me a copyright strike, blah, blah, blah. We're on. If you're watching on Periscope or Facebook or Twitch or any of those, we're simulcasting on all these channels: YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, Twitch. And if YouTube hears any sort of music that I don't own, they freak out. They give me a copyright strike, so I got to turn it down.
SpaceX team continues to count down for launch of our first operational Falcon Heavy flight. We're currently T-minus 6 minutes, 10 seconds from liftoff. Now, fuel loading is completed on the Falcon Heavy. Liquid oxygen loading is continuing. We'll wrap up the very last of it at T-minus 2 minutes on the second stage. Now, another event coming up here in a couple of minutes is retraction of the transporter erector. We'll start a sequence at T-minus 4.5 minutes. You should see the clamp arms around the second stage open up. Shortly after that, the strong back portion will recline away from the Falcon Heavy. It moves just under 2 degrees until liftoff, when it will move the rest of the way back from the launch vehicle. Now, a lot's going to happen in the first 4 minutes of flight of a Falcon Heavy. We'll first light the 2 side boosters, and then fractions of a second later, the center core. The flight computer on Falcon Heavy will check power on the 27 Merlin 1D engines, then command release from the ground hold downs at T0. 40 seconds into flight, we'll decrease power on the 2 side boosters in preparation for maximum aerodynamic loads on the vehicle. Once we get through this period, Falcon Heavy will throttle back up to power on the side boosters. Once we get 2 minutes into flight, we will again reduce thrust on the 2 side boosters. At this point in time, the vehicle is much lighter, having burned much of the propellant, but the thrust is constant, so the acceleration, hence the loads, are continuing to increase. So we will reduce thrust on the side boosters to decrease forces on the rocket structure. When we get 2.5 minutes into flight, we'll fully turn off the side boosters, an event called BECO, Booster Engine Cutoff. The pneumatic separation system on the center core then unlocks the 2 side boosters and pushes them away. You've just heard the call out. They're going to begin retracting the clamp arms as part of the TE strongback retract sequence. Meanwhile, back in the ascent sequence of event, once we get the side boosters separated from the center core will throttle up to full power. It'll run another 55 seconds. Finally, at just past 3.5 minutes after liftoff, the center core will shut down, called main engine cutoff, MECO. The second stage separates. From this point on, it's like a Falcon 9 mission, other than we're having 3 boosters all returning to Earth at the same time. The fairing will separate, the second stage engine fires twice, eventually sending the stage and payload out into geosynchronous transfer orbit around the Earth. So that gives you a feel for the sequence of events we're planning to demonstrate on this flight of the Falcon Heavy. Everybody right now is reporting things look nominal. The checkout sequences are good. We're closing out propellant load at T-minus 3 minutes and 16 seconds and counting. Let's watch and listen in to the final countdown of Falcon Heavy.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I'm just as excited as I was last year, I feel like. I'm getting so pumped. You see a lot of condensation there, a little bit of venting from where the interstage is. That's the liquid oxygen venting off. There'll be one, if I recall correctly, they do this with the Falcon 9s, but usually there's one final big vent at about 1.5 minutes prior to launch. Sounds like they got the pad mics on, the microphones that are around the launch pad, which is awesome. That's going to give us
the retract angle of 88.3 degrees.
88.3 degrees, so it's just under 2 degrees. That's the strong back, tilting back just a little bit. We're 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes to launch. This is so exciting. I cannot wait. Look at it. Looks so awesome, especially the Block 5 version with a little bit of the black landing legs, the darker grid fins there, the black grid fins. Looks like a gorgeous day. Launch, 3 landings, and then stick around afterwards because we'll do some giveaways after launch. I cannot wait. This is intense. I'm getting nervous, getting excited. I love this. I love this. I love it. Love it. Oh, so excited. Final vent, the big vent coming up for 1.5 minutes.
Ground gas closeouts is starting.
There it is. Final vent, last big vent there. Oh, why is there water coming out of the water tower? There's a hole in the water tower. What's happening? I don't know what's happening. I don't know why there's water pouring out of the water tower. It does not seem normal. We're under 1 minute.
Ground gas closeouts complete.
Turn the volume up. You're probably not going to hear me. You don't want to hear me anyway.
Go for lunch.
Another 30 seconds. Minus 15 seconds.
Vehicle's flight pressures.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition, liftoff.
Vehicle's pitching downrange.
We're beginning deep throttle. Center core at deep throttle.
T-plus 33 seconds into flight. Under the power of 5.1 million pounds of thrust, Falcon Heavy is headed to space. We're throttling down at T-plus 40 seconds to prepare for maximum dynamic pressure.
There's max
Power
Q.
telemetry are nominal.
Look at this go.
We're hearing reports. Power and telemetry are nominal.
Vehicle is supersonic.
You may have heard the call out on Net 1. Vehicle is supersonic. Side boosters are throttling back up on power as we're through the period of maximum dynamic pressure. Trajectory looking good. You can hear the applause behind me as we've gotten past maximum dynamic pressure. Next event coming up is chill-in of the MVAC-D engine. Get the turbo pump ready to ignite the main engine on the second stage in another couple of minutes. Merlin engine performance looks good.
Look at that view. That's an awesome view right there.
We've begun dropping power on the side boosters to decrease loads on the center core.
So right around about 30 seconds from now, that's when we should have boosters cut off and separation.
Second load limiting shutdown.
Continuing to decrease loads to minimize acceleration on the Falcon Heavy structure. Coming up on booster engine cutoff, called BECO, and separation of the two side boosters.
Here, roughly.
MVAC engine chill.
BECO.
There's BECO right there. Separation, yeah.
Booster separation confirmed.
Successful separation if you can hear me over the cheering.
Yeah.
Side boosters now beginning a flip to begin returning back to Cape Canaveral. Side boosters have begun the boost back burn. The center core has throttled back up to power.
Yeah, you can see the engines and the cold gas thrusters so clearly in that top
looking
screen.
good on the flight of Falcon Heavy. The next major event, main engine cutoff of the center core and separation ignition of the second stage. Bottom middle view shows the view looking up into the nozzle of the second stage engine.
MECO.
Main engine cutoff, center core shut down.
Separation confirmed.
Awesome.
MVAC ignition.
Again, over the cheering, MVAC-D engine up on power. It looks good. Side boosters looking good, still burning on their way back to Cape Canaveral. Grid fins are out on the center core.
Fairing separation confirmed.
Here comes the fairing separation, and there it goes.
No roadster this time, but still just as exciting.
We also have successful shutdown
You see the fairing in the
of
distance
the
on the
side
top
booster
screen.
boost back burn. So T plus 4 minutes, 25 seconds into flight. Side boosters on their way back to Cape Canaveral. Center core coasting
Stage
out over
2
the
trajectory
Atlantic.
nominal.
Stage 2 looking good with a nominal trajectory.
Oh, come on, we're going for the triple this time. Come on. So you
And
got,
as you guys have noticed, the grid fins have deployed on the side boosters as well as the center core. Those work to help guide the boosters back to a nice targeted soft landing.
so you got the two
See those
side
heading home
cores
right now.
on the outside, and then the center core in the
As
center.
a reminder, today we'll be attempting to
good planning,
recover
brother.
all 3 of the first stage cores, and all 3 boosters are currently on their way heading home. In just a few minutes, the side boosters will execute an entry burn, followed by a landing burn, and the center core will do much the same a few minutes later. Both burns are meant to slow the stage's speed down rapidly before landing.
At the time of separation, the side boosters were traveling slow enough to turn around and make their way back to land at our side-by-side landing pads. The center core, on the other hand, is going too fast to efficiently return to the Cape, so we're using our autonomous drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You. If we have a successful landing today, the side boosters will be reflown on our next Falcon Heavy mission, STP-2. Now, coming up at about T plus 6 minutes will be the side boosters re-entry burn.
Acquisition of signal Bermuda.
Now we're just waiting on landing. So you got two
So you
side
see
cores
the side
on the
boosters on
outside.
your left and right screen.
Yep. Those are going to land on land. The center one is going to land on the drone ship.
Booster entry burn has started.
And there's the re-entry burn beginning.
Stage 2 trajectory nominal.
And the re-entry burn is complete for the side boosters. Now, coming up in about 30 seconds, the center core, which you see on your center screen, will begin its re-entry burn.
So this is just a re-entry burn that just slows it down. So when as it's entering the thicker atmosphere, it doesn't, it's not stressing the vehicle as much. So you get a boost back burn for the side cores, and then the side and the center cores, they do entry burn that slows it down, and then they'll do the landing burn for the actual landing itself. So we got one more burn left for the side cores, and you got two burns for the center core. The center core has not done the entry burn yet, although it looks like it's starting now.
Entry burn has started.
There it is.
Side boosters are transonic.
And there you can see the re-entry burn for center core has begun.
Comes the side boosters. I see the beach. I see the beach. They're transonic. Those sonic booms.
Coming up in about 5 seconds here, the side boosters landing burn will begin as well.
There it is.
Side booster landing burn has started.
See the side boosters coming down. An amazing view. You can hear a crowd going crazy right now. Both side boosters has landed on our landing pads. Zone 1 and Zone 2. What an amazing sight to see.
Oh, that is so awesome. That is so
Now
awesome.
we're
I
waiting
love
for
that.
the engine to shut down on the second stage and for the center core to land. Now, if all goes well, we'll have successfully recovered all 3 boosters, which we have never done before.
Now we just need the center
Now,
core.
coming up in about 20 seconds, we're going to listen for confirmation of SECO 1, or second engine cutoff 1.
We just need that space lobster to stay away for the center core. We need the triple. It should be coming up soon. So this is the second stage here, the upper stage. Carrying on the actual mission, although I'm excited about the center core landing. It's coming into that drone
And
ship.
we
It's gonna
have
be coming
confirmation.
in hot. It's quick.
Now we're just waiting to hear good orbit.
Ooh, transonic. That's good. Center core's transonic. That means below the speed of sound.
Orbit insertion.
Nominal
And we
orbital
have that
insertion.
confirmed. Good orbit.
Let's see. Yep, good
Now,
orbit.
coming up here in about 15 seconds will be the center core landing burn beginning.
It's always tough to get video from that. It gets shaky. It cuts out. So don't be
So
surprised.
again, as we mentioned earlier, this is going to be a challenging landing.
Stage 1 landing
And we
burn
are
is starting.
landing on our
Landing
drone
burn.
ship. Of course, I
Landing
still
burn.
love you.
Where is it? Where is it? Come on.
Looks like we lost the live view. Waiting for some confirmation, and
sounds like it landed.
we landed.
Sounds like it landed.
On our drone ship, but
did it land? It sounds like it landed.
The center core for the first time on our drone ship. Of course, I still love you. For the first time, we've landed all 3 boosters for Falcon Heavy. What an amazing day. So now we are going to take a quick... You can hear our crowd going wild.
The triple.
3 for 3 boosters today on Falcon Heavy. What an amazing accomplishment. So now the primary mission is still going well. We are about to enter the coast phase, so we're going to take a quick break. But we'll leave you with an animation that shows you where we are throughout the coast phase. We will be back at about T plus 26 minutes for second stage relight and the deployment of our satellite.
We're going to take a break. Oh, and they started the music up. Oh my gosh. How awesome was that? 3 for 3. 3 for 3 they went on the booster landings. That is so awesome. I don't even know what to say. I'm so excited, relieved. My heart's going crazy. That was awesome. That was so awesome. We should watch. We're gonna watch that again for sure. That was awesome. We definitely got to take a look at it. But anyway, so I could collect myself. So excited from that. So they're just playing some music right now and getting the graphic. I can't show you the music. Like I said, YouTube copyright, blah 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 blah. The trifecta, says Michael C on Periscope. Yes, Kara says amazing, pretty awesome. Heck yeah, from Coffee Sith Lord. Why does it cut out exactly at that time? Yeah, so basically, I mean, it's using a satellite video feed, and that satellite dish that's transmitting the video feed, as the engine comes down, the thrust from the engine is shaking that satellite dish all over the place, so it cuts the feed out. I got to turn the music down in my ear. It's really loud. So yeah, the satellite dish and the video feed, it gets shaken around as the engine's coming down. So that's why the video feed always cuts out on the drone ship. Oh, but that was so crazy. Let's see. History in the making, says Michelle King. One of the boosters was tilted at the end, says Illusion 7. I thought so too. The booster on the far back on the double landing there, we'll take a look at the second. The one that was furthest from the camera looked like it had a little bit of a slant to it. It looked a little tilted, but it stayed up. That's the important thing. I wonder if maybe one of the landing legs didn't lock out all the way or something, but it landed, so that's the important thing. Let's see. Comments are flying by. Everybody's excited. Fairing recovery too. Yeah. So what they said, no Mr. Steven boats for fairing recovery. They were just going to do a soft landing in the water, and they were going to use the support ships, Go Searcher and Go Navigator. Those are the same support ships that picked up the Crew Dragon capsule. They're just going to go pick up the fairings, pull them out of the water, but they're not going to catch them with Mr. Steven, unfortunately. Mr. Steven is missing some arms at the moment, which is unfortunate. But yeah, hopefully they're going to put him back in service at some point. But let's see. A lot of people, tears of joy. I know I was trying not to tear up on camera here, but it was pretty awesome. I was super excited. Let's see. Will they be able to reuse these for the next Falcon Heavy launch? Yes, they are planning on reusing those 3 cores for the next Falcon Heavy, the STP-2 mission. So they're going to bring them back, refurbish them, and send them up again. So it'll be a reflown Falcon Heavy the next time. Although I did hear that they have another center core. So I think they're planning on reusing this center core, but they do have another center core, I believe. So they might use a brand new center core, but I'm pretty sure at least the side boosters, they're intending to use those again. Let's see. Congratulations from Brazil. Thanks, Brazil. Well, thanks. Like I didn't really have much. I didn't have anything to do with it, but congratulations to SpaceX. Everybody's excited. I love seeing this stuff. I can tell that everybody else does. Saves a ton of money, says Michael C. on Periscope for the reuse. Yeah, definitely saves a ton of money, especially if you can save the center core like we did today. No hashtag Space Lobster today. That Space Lobster stayed away, and we got a triple landing, the trifecta. So if you feel like celebrating and you want to give us a shout out at the same time, you can throw over maybe a congratulatory message to SpaceX with the hashtag trifecta, hashtag Space Lobster 2, something like that. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up on the spot, but it was pretty exciting. Whatever you do, if you're celebrating or congratulating, keep us in the loop because I'm super excited. So make sure you tweet and tag OLHCN on Twitter as well if you're celebrating it up and as excited as I am. We're gonna rewatch some of this in just a second. Are you gonna go see a live launch? I did see one last year. I may be seeing one again in the near future. So updates on that to come. We'll see. I'm just gonna leave it at that. First time SpaceX recovered all 3 Falcon Heavy cores. Absolutely, it was fantastic. Glad I'm still young enough to see this stuff. Says, well, I lost it already. Says somebody. Maria said that over on the YouTube channel. They should add red, white, and blue smoke coloring to the mixture. That would be interesting, a little celebratory. But I think they kind of surprised themselves a little bit on the center core landing because this was a fast center core. This was going really quick. And so it's a tricky landing for it to come in that fast and have enough fuel to slow itself down and actually do that landing bird. That's tricky. It's almost 1,000 kilometers out in the Atlantic Ocean. That's a long way. Tricky landing, but they did it. They pulled it off. Andrew's going to see the STP-2 launch. That's awesome, Andrew. Yeah, that STP-2 launch, that's the Air Force launch. That's the next Falcon Heavy coming up in a couple of months. Beautiful sight to see from the west coast of Florida, says Chris. That's awesome. I'm jealous if anybody that got to see it in person. I know a ton of people that are down there. I know there's space journalists and space photographers that I know, obviously, that are down there, but also some people that follow us on Twitter have sent us messages, said that they're down there. My cousin is down there, which I'm super jealous about. There's so many people got to see it in person, and that's awesome if you did. Why was there water coming out of the water tower? That's a great question. I don't know. That doesn't usually happen. There was water pouring out of the water tower, like from the top of the water tower, like a water feature, like a little waterfall. I don't know why that was happening. So I don't know if they'll say anything about that. I'm going to have to investigate that a little bit to see what was going on there. Is Falcon Heavy more powerful than Apollo? No, Falcon Heavy is not more powerful than Apollo. Apollo is still, I believe, the most powerful spacecraft that we've ever built. But yeah, Falcon Heavy is not more powerful than Apollo, unfortunately. But the Starship, the super, what is it called? Super Heavy Starship, that could be more powerful than Apollo. We'll have to see. We're gonna have to see once that starts making flights. It did make a little quick hop recently, which is an exciting development. Roger geeked out as a kid about space shuttle launches. That was the coolest launch return landing I've ever seen. I know, how awesome was that? That was fantastic. Tower overflow, says William Jordan. So that's on the tower overflow on the water tower. So that could be could explain what the deal was with the water pouring out of the water tower, maybe to reduce water pressures. How do you think they did compared to Beresheet? Well, I mean, not to knock the Beresheet team. I mean, Beresheet didn't make it. But so far, Falcon Heavy is flawless right now. But I mean, Beresheet is still a great accomplishment for Beresheet. I don't want to knock Beresheet and the team that put that together and was behind that, because it's still a great accomplishment, a great achievement for them to make it to the moon, even though they didn't land on it. Still a great accomplishment, even just to make it to lunar orbit. That's a big deal for a private company. Hey, Space TV says, thanks for the tip there. Thanks for the awesome interactive live stream, says Space TV. I really appreciate that. Thanks very much. It's awesome that you guys are as excited about this as I am. It's fantastic. I'm super excited. When will the ship return to land? So usually it's going to be a couple days before the drone ship gets back to land, especially because of how far out it is. I don't know exactly how long. Usually it's like 2 or 3 days. Could be like 3 or 4 days before it actually gets back to Port Canaveral. But usually it's like 2 or 3 days before they get back. So we'll have to see, follow along with the SpaceX fleet and see when they come back here. But two of them are already there. They're on the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station with the landing on land. We'll come back soon in like 4 minutes. Yeah, SpaceX is going to come back in about 6 minutes. We'll watch deployment of the satellites, and then we're going to do some giveaways. So stick around. Don't leave yet. We're going to do some giveaways here in a little while. We'll give away some free stuff. We got some brand new Overlook Horizon pins. Got some Space Lobster stickers. We're going to give away a beach ball, right? We got lots of beach balls to give away, so stick around for that. After satellite deployment, we're going to give away some stuff. Let's see. My kids are begging for the buttons, says Jason. Wow, I didn't know so many people would like the buttons. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give away a couple of buttons today, and then for anybody that doesn't win a button, I will put them on the Overlook Horizon store, overlookhorizon.com/shop. We got stickers there, and we'll put the buttons there, and they're going to help support our weather balloon flights that will be coming up hopefully next month. We're looking at maybe first flight in May. We're building some new components here, and once we get those built, we'll be looking at doing our first flight of the year for our weather balloon flights. So let's see. Still can't believe they landed all 3. I know, that was amazing. Super chat's not working, says William Smith. Oh no, that's no good. Let's see. So this flight was, this is the Arabsat 6A satellite, which is still attached to the upper stage. It has not been deployed yet. It's going into a very high geostationary transfer orbit, which essentially just means it's not as elliptical, which means that the satellite itself doesn't have to use as much fuel as other geostationary transfer orbits. So because the Falcon Heavy has so much power, it could get it into an orbit that was a lot closer to geosynchronous orbits. So this is still going to be a geostationary transfer orbit, but it will be closer to a geostationary orbit than some of the other like Falcon 9 rockets that get it there. It's just because it has the extra power there for the Falcon Heavy. Let's see. Seeing all 3 cores lit up just after launch was awesome. I know, that was amazing. We gotta rewatch this here. I don't know if I want to do it now or before. Maybe we just watch the landing before they come back. I just want to watch that landing again, because that was amazing, right? We'll watch the landing. That was pretty awesome. And maybe we'll rewatch the whole thing after they do the separation here. Back it up a little bit, and we'll turn up some volume just so we can rewatch this landing, because this was awesome. Oh, I got to turn it up here too.
Booster landing burn has started.
Has landed on our landing pads, Zone 1 and Zone 2. What an amazing sight to see.
That is so awesome. But here, look at that. I'll pause it here for a quick second. But look at that. Oh, get out of here, advertisements. Look at that. Look at that booster that's off in the distance there. Does that not look a little crooked to you? Looks a little bit slanted to me, right? I mean, it could be camera angle. Maybe it's just a weird camera angle. But that booster back there, that looks a little bit crooked to me. And I think that's what somebody had mentioned in the comments, is it was kind of looking a little bit crooked. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe one of the landing legs didn't completely lock out. But luckily, it stayed standing. No problem. As long as it's there and standing and it's stable, then it's good to go. So yeah, that was amazing to see that landing. Oh, wow, music got loud in my ear there when I switched back. So we're back to live here. I want to make sure we don't miss the actual separation here. Andrew loved the close-up of the rocket just after liftoff. Yeah, we're going to do another, we're going to rewatch the whole launch again, because that was pretty awesome. Did you see the rocket in the background? Yeah, that's the one we were just talking about. Let's see, the prizes is stuff he found in his garbage. It's not stuff we found in the garbage, John. It's decent stuff. We've got, I mean, they're our official Overlook Horizon swag. We've also got what we typically give away here. We still got a couple. We got a NASA TESS mission patch from the NASA TESS mission. That's the Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite. That's an official, the official TESS mission patch from when I went down and watched the TESS mission in person. So we still got a couple of those that we can give away as well. But we got stickers, buttons. We got a beach ball from United Launch Alliance. So we give a couple of cool things away. Looks like the Leaning Tower of Pisa says Canaveral on Periscope. Let's see. So it will stay over. So it will stay over the same general location. I don't know what that comment means. We're coming up. They should be coming back here really any minute. We're just gonna. I guess I gotta turn it. Still music that they got going on in my ear here. So they haven't actually come back yet. I'll turn it up in my ear, but I got the volume down for you guys so that you're not so that YouTube doesn't yell at me about the music. But moment of silence for Bereshit. Yeah, sorry, it's sad about Bereshit not making that landing today on the moon. Stubby wants to win a mission patch for his son. Mike Ferguson says, spoiler, Elon controls the landings with an Xbox controller. Wouldn't that be interesting if somebody's just sitting at mission control like, get that, oh no, come on, get it back this way. I don't think, oh, hey, they're back. Let's turn the volume back up here.
Mission. We're at T plus 26 minutes, 45 seconds. Second stage with the satellite is about to cross the equator, west coast of Africa. So far today, if you missed it, you missed a great show. Liftoff right on time, 35 minutes after the hour. Side boosters separated as planned. 2 successful landings on landing zone 1 and 2. Center core shut down, second stage separated. Second stage went into the desired parking orbit where we are right now. And the center core executed a toasty landing out in the Atlantic Ocean on the drone ship. Now coming up in about 20 seconds, we're going to get ignition, about a brief reignition of the upper stage engine to carry the payload into the desired transfer orbit.
You can see little pieces of the liquid oxygen coming out the vent there that's floating around, kind of ice crystals and condensation.
Confirmation of ignition. We are up at the desired power. Tank pressure looks good. The turbine temps look good. You may have seen just before ignition the large white fluffy pieces moving away. That is solid oxygen. The stuff you breathe, it's so cold that it's solid, but it is not very dense. It's very fluffy, and it is actually attached to one of the liquid oxygen overboard drain lines that we use. So coming off is normal. Now this burn is about an 85-second burn. In that time, we'll add 2,800 meters per second to our velocity. That's more than the side boosters provided early in flight, almost as much as what the center core gave us. We've throttled down the engine to keep accelerations below the limit for our Arabsat customer. Everything continues to look good.
There's the SpaceX broadcasts from above their
views of
staff
the nozzle
cafeteria.
of the upper stage engine coming from 2 SpaceX cameras on either side of the second stage. Continuing to throttle down, and we have shut down.
There we go. That's the final burn there.
Right now we're waiting to hear what the final orbit looks like.
Listening for nominal orbit insertion.
Nominal orbit insertion.
There it is.
Guidance engineer over one of the nets announced nominal orbit insertion. Right where we want to be. We're on a path that'll take us almost 90,000 kilometers up above the Earth. Well, now we're in the good orbit we wanted. We're going to coast for the next 5 minutes or so. We'll be back with continuing coverage at T plus 33 minutes for the final step in today's mission, deployment of the Arabsat 6A satellite.
All right, so it looks like they're going to jump out for just a moment, and we'll come back to it. But while they're waiting, let me tell you about the giveaways that we're going to do here. We'll probably do. I probably can't explain it fast enough or get you on board fast enough before they actually do the separation. But we'll at least explain it a little bit so you know what's happening and how to get involved. So the giveaways. Unfortunately, giveaways can only happen on our YouTube channel. So if you want to actually win one of the giveaways, what you got to do is you got to head over to the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/OLHZN. And all you got to do is find this live video. It should be like the first video you see on our YouTube channel. And you just got to throw in a comment. You say, hello, how you doing? Let me know where you're from. Tell me how excited you were. Whatever you want. Keep it clean. And just say hello over on the YouTube channel. You got to throw in a comment. And that will enter you to win. I've got the Nightbot up and running. Nightbot is ready to collect your comments. So any comments that it gets in here, it's ready to go. And actually, I started this a couple minutes ago. So anybody that's been commenting in the last couple of minutes, it's been tracking it here. So get your comments in over on the YouTube channel, and that will enter you for a giveaway. Now there are a couple caveats. Apparently, I say this all the time. People are probably sick of me saying this, but you got to throw it out there. Apparently, there are laws for giving away free stuff. Who knew, right? I don't know. I just give it away to whoever wins. I don't care. But there are laws for this. So the lawyers tell me that you got to be in the United States, Canada, the UK, or the European Union in order to win. Those 4 places are eligible. Within those 4 places, there are some exceptions. There's Quebec. And I can't remember the other ones. There's a couple. But there's official rules description in the YouTube channel, in the description. All the way at the bottom it says giveaway rules, and it'll tell you who's eligible from which locations. But essentially, general standpoint, you got to be in the United States, Canada, the UK, or the European Union. And throw in a comment. You should be eligible to win as long as you're not in one of those exception areas. Right? Who thought it'd be so complicated to give away free stuff? I don't know. Apparently there's rules. Who knew? But anyway, so we're going to give away a couple of free things here. I think we'll give away, let's see. We'll give away a patch. We'll give away a pin. I feel like we got to give away some Space Lobster stickers, right? So we got the one Space Lobster sticker. We got the other Space Lobster sticker. There's 4 things. And what else? And we'll probably we'll give away 2 buttons. Everybody likes the buttons so much. We'll give away at least 2 buttons. We'll give away 2 buttons and a beach ball. That's a ton of stuff there. Woo! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. We're gonna give away 6 things. Usually I do 4. We'll give away 6 things. We're splurging today. Splurging on giveaway stuff. So they're gonna come back at T-minus 33 minutes. So there, I explained the giveaways there. So now we're gonna wait until they come back. I'll throw the reminder up here just in case you forgot or in case you missed it. If you want to enter the giveaways, youtube.com/OLHCN. Throw in a comment. It's going to keep track of your comments here for the next 15 minutes or so. So if you comment now, no big deal. You'll still be entered. But you do have to stick around to find out if you win, because trying to find yourself in the comments later is going to be a hard thing to do. So just make sure you stick around, see if you win. And we got 6 things to give away. Mission patch, 2 Overlook Horizon buttons, 2 Space Lobster stickers, and a beach ball. It's almost summertime, right? Well, they're back.
We're about half a minute away from the deployment of the Arabsat 6A satellite. Now, currently, the second stage has begun a slow spin-up. That'll help stabilize the satellite. It'll retain that spin when it separates from the second stage. Currently, the camera view has switched forward, looking at the Arabsat 6A spacecraft. And if you've just joined us now, you've missed a great day. Both side boosters landed at the Cape. Center core landed, second stage right in the desired orbit. And now we're waiting for separation.
Spacecraft separation confirmed.
As you can tell behind me, the folks who watched the mission cheering. Arabsat 6A headed away into the desired orbit, doing its mission in space. That puts a capper on what's been a completely normal day here at SpaceX.
And with that brings our webcast to a close. Thanks to our customer Arabsat for entrusting us with tonight's mission. Thank you to the 45th Space Wing and Range Safety and the FAA for licensing today's launch.
We'd also like to thank all of you, our viewers, for tuning into such an exciting launch today. Follow our website and social media platforms for updates on our next milestones and missions. And until next time, have a great night.
Well, there it is. There goes the Arabsat 6A communications satellite after, from what I can tell, a flawless Falcon Heavy launch. That was awesome. This was fantastic. Goodbye, satellite, everybody says. San Antonio here. Satellite looks hefty. It was a 6-ton satellite, I believe. I think it's, let's see, what happened to the second stage now? So the second stage, that's likely going to go, I don't think they're going to bring that back. I believe they're going to eject that into a disposal orbit. All right, so that's the end of that here. We can switch back over. We'll go back to full screen. Hey, how's everybody doing? Yeah, so I believe the second stage will go into a disposal orbit. I did not see, I closed my map. I did not see any, usually they would publish a re-entry danger zone, re-entry NOTAM, if they re-enter the second stage. Because a lot of times they'll take the second stage, they'll deorbit it and have it burn up in the atmosphere. But they usually publish a NOTAM warning to aircraft and ships about the incoming burning spacecraft. But I don't believe they published that, which would mean if they did not publish that, that means that they're going to put it into a disposal orbit, which basically means they kind of eject it out, or they put it into an orbit where it's not going to bother anything. Kind of likely be somewhere in between. Kind of be in like a medium Earth orbit, somewhere that's not very populated. I don't know if there's an official altitude for disposal orbit. It's a good question. Let's see. So we got to do some giveaways here before people get too antsy, right? Let me see if I missed anything. Let's see. I don't think we missed anything yet. Oh, somebody placed an order in our web store. So yeah, if you want to get one of these stickers, you can place an order in the web store, overlookhorizon.com/shop. And don't forget, I should have put this up before launch, but I'm gonna put some of these buttons in our web store. I'm gonna do it right after we get off the air. I'm gonna jump on. I'll put these buttons in the store so you can take a look, and then I'll tweet it out. So make sure you follow the Twitter machine if you want to see that. So, all right, let's do some giveaways. We have a ton of eligible people that have been commenting, which is awesome. I'll give you just a couple more seconds to get your comments in here over on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/OLHCN. You get your comments in. You have to be. There's rules. I know. I don't make the rules. They're just for some reason you can't give away free stuff everywhere. They got laws for that. So in order to be eligible, you got to be in the U.S., UK, the European Union, or Canada. I forgot Canada. U.S., Canada, UK, the European Union. And there's a couple exceptions. Like I know Quebec is one of them. Quebec is a strange one because in order for me to give to legally give stuff away for free in Quebec, I would have to do the entire contest in English and in French. I don't speak French. I don't know anybody that speaks French, so I can't do the contest in French. So I can't give away stuff to people in Quebec. So that's one of the weird, quirky laws about giving away free stuff. And there's other countries that say you have to have an official registration and a permit in order to give away free stuff. It's crazy. Anyways. So there, you got a couple seconds. I also know there's a bit of a delay. I know I saw some people comment during the show saying like our stream is off by 30 seconds. It's always off by 30 seconds. Here's the thing. I get the SpaceX stream and I get it at the same time you get it at. And then it has to go through my broadcast software and then back out to you and through the YouTube pipelines to your destination. That puts in about a 30-second delay. Usually it's somewhere around 30 seconds. Could be 20 seconds, could be 45 seconds, but it's about 30-second delay. If you watch the SpaceX stream yourself, you're going to see the stuff sooner than we would. But hopefully you'd like to join our party and have some fun with us, and that's why you come watch along with us. I mean, you can watch the SpaceX stream directly, but we're here to have some fun, right? Anyway, so there's my spiel on why there's a delay. It's just the way it is. I can't speed it up any more than that. It just happens. Okay, so anyway, so the giveaways here, they're going to be run by Nightbot. If you've probably seen Nightbot flow through the YouTube comments. Nightbot is our random giveaway choosing machine. And so Nightbot is going to choose one of these winners for us at random. And then you just let us know if you're in the eligible areas. Because if you're not, unfortunately, I feel bad for you, but we'd like to give it away to somebody else if I can't legally send it to you. I would send it to you if I could. I would, I promise. Anyways, all right. So we're going to do the first giveaway. The comments are flowing in on the YouTube channel. I absolutely love it. You got a couple. You can still jump in on some of the other prizes here. But we're going to give away the mission patch here first. So hopefully you got your comments in for the mission patch. But here it is. This is the NASA test mission patch, an official mission patch. It's a real thing. It's really sewn. It's not transparent like this. This is my green screen that's making it transparent. I don't know why it does that all the time. It's actually blue. It's not green. But apparently my green screen thinks it's green. So it makes it transparent. But this is actually a blue swoosh. And this is a blue circle here. But anyways, TESS. It's the Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite. It's a satellite, basically a space telescope that I watched launch from Cape Canaveral last April, pretty much right about this time. And it's out there looking for exoplanets. That's planets that are outside of our solar system. A pretty cool space telescope that's out there. Kind of a big deal. Anyways, this is the official sewn mission patch right directly from NASA down at the Kennedy Space Center. We got a whole bunch of these. We're getting kind of low. We started with a ton of them, but they're getting down there now. But anyways, all right, so I've vamped enough here. Let's finally find out who wins it. We're going to roll it. We're going to do a giveaway here. So we'll let Nightbot choose the winner and paint your head green so you'd be headless. Yeah, that would not be good. All right, we're going to roll it here. Do you enter just by commenting? Asked Austin. Yes, all you got to do is comment. You just got to say hello, pick me. You whisper sweet nothings to Nightbot. You just keep it clean. Whatever you got to do. You just got to say, cross your fingers and hope that Nightbot chooses you. But yeah, you just got to comment, and that gets you in the eligibility, or that gets you in the entry. And then you also have to be in the eligibility area if you actually win. So, all right. So here we go. We have a ton of users that are eligible. I think probably one of the highest numbers that we've seen before. And let's give it away. And then I see Cosmic Confusion wants to know about some liquid that was shown. We can go back to that. Remind me later. Everybody's saying, dude, check 2512. All right, let me do the giveaways quick. Then we'll go check 2512, whatever that is. I've seen 2512 flash by a million times. 2512 with a whole bunch of excellent. I see it. I see 2512. We'll check out 2512. Hold on. Let me give away some free stuff. All right. Here we go. Nightbot. All right. Pick somebody already, Nightbot, because they're freaking out. All right. All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Roll it. All right, there we go. Nightbot has chosen Madhusudan Chala. Madhusudan. Are you in the eligible areas? Let us know. Throw in the comments. Let us know if you're in the eligible areas. And if you are, you got yourself a NASA test mission patch. And so what you have to do if you win is you got to send me a direct message and tell me the address you want me to send it to. That's how I know how to set where it's got to go. I don't share it. We don't do anything with it. You just send it to me. And I mail this out to you. It goes in the mail. So in order to do that, easiest way is to send us a direct message on Twitter. So you can go to twitter.com/OLHCN right here. Send us a direct message. You can also do it on Facebook. Look for Overlook Horizon on Facebook. We got the Instagram, the OLHCN on Instagram. You go to overlookhorizon.com. Send us a message there. Somehow, some way, you got to send us a direct message. Let us know where you want this mailed to. And then if you're in the eligible areas, it's yours. Okay, mission patch, down, check. Let's give a button away. Here we go. We're flying through them here now. Here we go. This is a little tiny button. Same button I got on my shirt right here. It's the real deal. Brand new. Just got these things. They're kind of cool. They got our Overlook Horizon logo on them. I don't know if you can see that well. There you go. It's the Overlook Horizon logo. It's a little button. There's a little, pin thing on the back as would be on a button, right? So yeah, give away one of those. Brand new. We're going to put them in the web store after broadcast if you don't win one. So let's let Nightbot choose somebody for a button. 3, 2, 1, roll it. And there's the winner of the button. Lead 526 is won the giveaway for the Overlook Horizon button. So there's button number 1. Do not push the button, says Roger. Still a giveaway. Everybody wants to know 2512. All right, we'll go to 2512. We'll get there in just a minute. I don't know what's happening at 2512. Now I'm interested because I got to figure out why everybody's saying 2512. Let's see. Sorry, I'm watching the comments fly by, and I was just kind of chuckling at our moderator, Gregorius, who I think is having a hard time keeping up with the number of comments that are flying through. Also, I see Alex Ziggyfuls out there too. Probably at this point, I don't know how much moderating they're doing, but there you go. So good luck, guys. All right, let's give away another button. We'll do one more button here. We'll give this away here. So don't forget, if you won, send me those direct messages here. All right, I'm gonna roll it. 3, 2, 1. Next button goes to. There it is, Jefferson Davis for the next button. So Jefferson Davis, if you're in the eligibility areas, send me a direct message. Twitter, Facebook, overlookhorizon.com, Instagram, somehow. Send me a direct message. You got yourself a Overlook Horizon button there. There you go, Jefferson Davis. Okay. So there we go. There's 3. 3 out of 6 have been given away. Okay, next one up. Space Lobster sticker. This is from the Space Lobster this is our Space Lobster that went to space on Overlook Horizon 15, or at least the edge of space, up on our weather balloon flight. And so this was one of our stickers that we made for the Space Lobster there. So we'll give away one of these guys. And we'll see, let's see, if prizes cost less than shipping. It is the truth. They probably do cost less than shipping. They're not crazy expensive prizes. If you're looking to win a new car, you're at the wrong YouTube channel. Got no new cars here. We're a non-profit, 501c3. The best I can do is buttons and stickers and beach balls. Beach balls that were free from United Launch Alliance. All right, everybody still wants 2512. All right, hold on, let's get through these. All right, so Space Lobster sticker coming up. Why a lobster? You have to go back to the beginning of this video. You'll hear the story about the Space Lobster. We didn't see the Space Lobster today, but this is in tribute to the Space Lobster. You can also go on Twitter and look up hashtag Space Lobster. You see a million things. I see a million things every time I look it up. Hashtag Space Lobster. It goes hand in hand with Falcon Heavy. It's like cookies and milk. It's like peanut butter and jelly, Falcon Heavy and Space Lobster. They go together. Oh, man. Cracking myself up over here. Okay, we're going to give away a Space Lobster sticker. All right, here we go. Let's see. I got to cancel out of this other one. What if I do? Oh, there we go. All right, let's do this. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. Space Lobster sticker in 3, 2, 1. Roll it. Clayton. Clayton's the winner of the Space Lobster sticker. That first Space Lobster sticker there. I may have to write these all down here, but there you go, Clayton. It's coming to you, Clayton. You just have to send us a direct message on overlookhorizon.com or on our Twitter, OLHCN on Twitter, or Facebook, Overlook Horizon, one or the other. But there you go, Clayton. Clayton, you got an Overlook Horizon sticker coming your way. Okay, 2 more things, and then we'll go to 2512, whatever this is. Okay, the other Space Lobster sticker. This is like the mission patch for our Space Lobster flight that we had, Overlook Horizon 15. That was our weather balloon flight that went up to the edge of space. Took some really awesome photos and videos. You can check that out on our website if you want to check out some of the photos and videos that were up there. But definitely check those out. But anyways, here's our mission patch, and we'll give one of these guys away. No Space Lobster tonight. I know, I was kind of bummed that there was no Space Lobster appearance tonight. But all right, so here we go. We'll give another one away here. So this will be the Space Lobster sticker in 3, 2, 1, roll it. Hey, there's the one that I kept seeing in every channel. It was on our Discord channel. It was on our YouTube channel. He's on Periscope, but it's Coffee Sith Lord. Coffee Sith Lord has won the Space Lobster sticker. I kept seeing his username all over on every channel that we had. So there you go, Space Lobster sticker coming your way. Check it out and or send me a direct message, and it'll be yours as long as you're in the eligibility areas. All right, last thing, then we'll be good to go, and that is the beach ball from United Launch Alliance. Kind of looks like a Falcon Heavy, but this is a Delta IV Heavy. So this was for the Parker Solar Probe that launched last August. There's a little shot of the Parker Solar Probe. This guy is orbiting the sun in heliocentric orbit. It's going to be the closest man-made object we've ever gotten to the sun. Also the fastest object, relative speed, that we've ever launched from Earth as well. This Parker Solar Probe, measuring the solar winds and the trying to figure out the magnetic field and why particles accelerate after they leave the sun. It doesn't make any sense to scientists. The particles accelerate after they leave the sun, and then they accelerate as they go through the sun's corona. Kind of crazy. But they're trying to figure out why that happens. They think it has something to do with the magnetic field around the sun, why they accelerate. But that's what the Parker Solar Probe is going to figure out, and it launched on a Delta IV Heavy. And I figured it kind of looks like the Falcon Heavy, and so we'll give one away. And it's almost summertime, right? Who doesn't want a beach ball for summer? You throw this little guy in the pool, whatever you do in a sprinkler with the kids or whatever. You don't have to give it to the kids. You can keep it as an adult if you want to hold on to it. That's fine too. You do what you got to do. All right, so there you go. Coffee Sith Lord says, "What? I won? Sweet. Yes, you won. You got to send me a direct message though, so I know where to mail it to. And you got to be in the eligibility areas. I assume you're in the eligibility areas, but send me a direct message. Let me know the address you want it to go to." Whew. Okay. Here we go. Final thing, the beach ball. It's our final giveaway for Falcon Heavy, and we're gonna let Nightbot choose a winner. And here we go. 3, 2, 1, roll it. There we go. The winner is Pony Sensivo. Pony's a regular on our channel, I think. I see Pony all over the place, but there you go, Pony. I don't know if Pony's ever won a beach ball before. I don't think so, but there you go, Pony. A regular name that I see on the channel all the time. But there it is, Pony. Did it post it on there? The comments are flying by so fast. I don't even know if. Oh yeah, Nightbot posted it. So there you go. Pony's got the ball. Got to send me a direct message. Let me know where you want it to go. Facebook, Instagram, overlookhorizon.com. Well, whichever channel you prefer, but some way, somehow, got to send me that direct message so I know where to mail it. And then I know if you're in the eligibility zone. The easiest way is you send me a direct message on Twitter, OLHCN, and then I'll get it, and then I can mail it to you. I don't do anything with your address. I literally just write it on an envelope, but it's not a high-tech operation here. We're just write it on the envelope, goes out in the mail. Stamp on it, whew, here it goes. Okay, so there we go. That's it. For the giveaways, and now we got to look at whatever 2512 is. Everybody's freaking out about 2512. What's going on with my screen here? We got to figure out what 2512 is. We're going to go look at that, and we'll look at some replays as well. But I will take this opportunity before everybody completely bails out of here now that the giveaways are over, is to say, I do appreciate everybody being here, but I would love it if you liked what we're doing to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Periscope or Facebook or Instagram, whichever platform you prefer. It's either OLHCN or it's or Overlook Horizon on Facebook. So yeah, follow, subscribe, like the video, maybe throw some hearts over on Periscope. That lets me know that you enjoy it, you're having fun, and then I'm not the only one here that's just laughing and having a good time here. I want to make sure you guys are laughing and have a good time. But we're not going to end this yet. We're going to stick around. I want to watch some replays because I got to see this again. I got to figure out what 2512 is. I've seen 2512 about 900 times. So we got to see what 2512 is, what everybody's talking about. Everybody's being pretty cryptic in it. They're just telling me 2512. Or now I'm getting 1225. Crazy. Now, is this, when you say 2512, are you talking 2512 on the clock, like on the mission clock? Is that what you're looking for, 2512 on the mission clock? Because we can go back and look at that. 30-some wants to know if the launch is still a go and what time. 30-some, I hate to break it to you, but you missed it. Launch is over. We covered it. It was a great launch. You should definitely go back and take a look at it because it was awesome. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to do some replays here in a minute, but launch is over. But we're going to watch some replays now, and we're going to figure out what 2512 is. Thomas Hart says, go to 2512 flight time. What was that image? Okay, 2512 flight time. Everybody's freaking out. Let me see what. Let's go to 2512. See, that's 28, 27. I know you guys can't see this, but hold on. Let me get it queued up. We'll figure out what everybody's freaking out about. There's 25. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's super loud. Let's turn the volume down. Let's put it up on the screen so you guys can see what I see. And let me see. I gotta switch it over here so you guys can see what's happening here. All right, so we'll switch over to this, just like that. Okay, so here's 2509. Everybody wants to see 2512. That's 10, 11, 12. Oh, this thing. Is this what everybody's freaking out about? This alien image that kept flashing on the screen? This is quite the image. I believe this is. Well, normally I would have said this is like the inner stage, but I believe this is like inside the fuel tank here. I think that's what we're looking at here. Let's go. Does it just cut to it? 10, 11, 25, 12. Yeah, so I believe this is inside the fuel tank is what we're looking at. It's kind of weird because it only cuts to it for a second. It's like, boom, and then switches right back out of it. It's kind of weird. But I'm pretty sure that's what we're looking at is like inside, right? 11, 12, because you can see, and it does look pretty freaky. Everybody's freaking out here, but I was trying to look for indicators that I can see what's going on, but I believe this is inside the fuel tank that we're looking at. It's weird. It's hard to tell just because you get that quick, brief thing, but you can see kind of the fuel moving. If you watch closely, you can see it kind of moving around here. Whoop. I don't know how you're going to see it there. Can we use the YouTube slowdown feature? Let's see, speed. Let's go like quarter speed. 8, quarter speed might be too slow. 9. It looks freaky though, right? Eddie says it looks freaky. It does look pretty freaky. Frozen lobster propellant, says Mike Ferguson. Here we go. 10, 11, 12. We're in slow motion now. Switch over. You can see it move around and then it just jumps back. Yeah. All right. So now I see why everybody wanted to look at 2512 because it was freaky. Also at 2552, they say. So we must have another view of it. Let's go back to normal speed. At 25, oh, that's too far. 2552. Fast forward to 2552. Oh, too far. 51, 52. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure this is fuel tank, inside of the fuel tank that we're looking at here. I don't know why they just show it for like half a second like that. But I'm pretty sure that's inside the fuel tank. Let's see. It looks like a Stargate wormhole opening. It does look pretty freaky like that. But and I guess the odd thing is like why do they only show it for like less than a second? It's like literally a fraction of a second. See the frozen oxygen up there? Oh, yeah, it just flashes real quick. It's the onboard lobster tank, says this is Mike Ferguson. Lobster fuel. It's interesting to see Hal sending subliminal messages to our brain. Yeah, it did kind of look like subliminal messaging, right? Lobster vomit. So Everseeker thinks it's Elon Musk's hot tub. That would be interesting. Did they give us a? Let's see. We had another. Oh, they did give us a countdown net too. We could look at the countdown net video. It's probably a mistake. That's what I was thinking, is that they didn't intend for that to be seen on the broadcast, and it was just a mistake. But they did do it like once or twice, or at least twice. Let's see. I figured since solid, actually, I thought the fuel would at least not be boiling. Purple drain. Did I miss the sticker giveaway? Yeah, sorry. The sticker giveaway is over. It's an alien pool. Oh, man. Let's see. Coffee Sith Lord sent me a message on Twitter. Thank you, Coffee Sith Lord. I will get your prize out to you ASAP. They had to skip through views and didn't think this shot was in the order. Yeah, that might be what happened, is they're probably just trying to skip through. They're just switching camera angles, and they had to skip through to get to the next camera view. So that seems plausible. So hangar flying, what did they mistakenly show in the stream? So that's what we were looking at here. That's the big 2512 mystery. That's the really what it is. What? No. What? I don't want commercials. Get these commercials out of here. Why is it not playing? Play. Okay. What happened? We lost our feed. There it is. Now it's back. Why won't it let me fast forward? Okay. Well, now it's just showing me Game of Thrones advertisements. Okay. Well, let me see if I can refresh this, and let's see if I can figure out why it won't let me fast forward. Maybe I got to just refresh the stream because I had it queued up from being live. There we go. Yeah, we just had to refresh the stream a little bit. Let's see. We'll switch back over here now. Okay, that's better. I don't know what's happening here. So let's go to 2512. That's where everybody was freaking out. The 2512, what happened? Here we go. Yeah, so 2011, 12, boom. Yeah, that's it. Right, get these ads out of here. So yeah, that's basically inside the fuel tank that we're looking at. I'm pretty sure that's what that is, inside the fuel tank. It is kind of an awkward view, and they only show it for just half a second. But yeah, that is what I believe we're looking at. How many sensors on board? There are a lot of sensors on board. I don't think I know the exact number of sensors on board. It's the ghost of the Space Lobster doing that. Yeah, we've got the... a lot of people said this is the Space Lobster hot tub. I kind of like that. Hashtag Space Lobster hot tub. Somebody clip this, screenshot this, put it out on Twitter. Hashtag Space Lobster hot tub. I like that. Let's see. Fuel slosh. There you go. We're looking at fuel slosh. Genghis Pecan says if you look up SpaceX and fuel slosh, you'll find the answer. Somebody said lobster puke. That's gross. Let's see. Definitely not a wormhole. It looks like Stargate. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely looked a little bit weird and suspicious because of just the quick 1 second transition there. So there's our controversy from this Falcon Heavy. Last time it was the center core. Nobody knew what happened to the center core, and they wouldn't tell us what happened to the center core. This time, they're flashing subliminal messages at us with the fuel slosh pictures. So, alien spit. That's also gross. Looks like a nebula. Tyler Spaz already putting in hashtag Space Lobster hot tub. Liquid oxygen is what somebody said. Elon says it's liquid oxygen. Space Lobster rides again. Yeah, so it's definitely inside the tank. It could be oxygen. I don't know if that seems plausible. I'd believe that that's oxygen. Purplish color makes it more freaky. I know, right? Let's see. The particle, yeah, so a couple other people asked about the big fluffy particles that float around the engine bells. That's basically solid oxygen that freezes and becomes a solid and then floats around and breaks off. And yeah. Let's see. What else do we have to chat on? Purple because it's really cold. I think I'm assuming that's just the light inside the tank. I don't know if it's the purple color has really any significance there. Looks like slime. Obviously a Stargate. So yeah, there's the big controversy. The hashtag Space Lobster hot tub there is just the fuel tanks, or rather the liquid oxygen tank, I believe is what that is. So no big deal. Stubby's taking off, looks like. Says, bye, Tori. Thanks for the live stream. Is great as always. Until next time. Well, thanks, Stubby, for hanging out. We'll check you next time. Fact checked. Lobsters are purple in 0G. Is that a fact? All right. Purple lobster. So it must be a tank of lobsters having a hot tub. That's the obvious answer, I think. The black things on the left and top right are two of the COPVs. Oh yeah, there you go. It must be, those are the COPV tanks, the composite overwrap pressure vessel. Is that the V? Basically the helium tanks there to keep it under pressure. O2 tank, where stage 2? Yeah, that would have been in stage 2 at the 25-minute mark. That would have been in stage 2 that we'd be seeing that. Liquid oxygen is blue, similar to the color of compressed glacial ice. So there you go. That's from Andy Lee Robinson. I don't know if I've actually seen liquid oxygen in person. I want a camera in my car's fuel tanks, is Kevin B. There you go. Yeah, John says camera inside the LOX tank. That's the liquid oxygen tank. You can see the helium tanks. That's the COPVs, the two black. There you go. The pressurize on the left and the upper right, they use to verify the LOX is settled to the bottom before the MVAC relight. All right, there you go. There's the details from John Batty. That is definitely, that's right up there. I think he's right on the money there. So liquid oxygen tank, you got the COPVs, they got the helium to pressurize the tanks, keep them there, and they want the liquid oxygen to settle to the bottom so they get it all out for use in obviously the MVAC engines. All right, so John Grissom, new to this, great covers. Thanks, John. That explains it. 2904, it was jelly. Was it up there again at 2904? Did they show it there again? Where's 2904? There's 27, 28. Oh, we passed it. 29, 0. So there's the MVAC engine lit and firing the second burn there. I don't see anything at 2904. We missed it. All right, what else we got? Everybody says it looks like a wormhole. A pressure freezer. Could be a pressure cooker. Mixing is the Space Lobster. Space Lobster 2 is mixing his 0G jello shooters. All right. It would be nice if we could see this camera from the launch. Yeah, that would be kind of cool to see the camera the entire way. But yeah, they don't show that there. But speaking of from the launch, let's go back. Let's take a look at launch again, because that was pretty awesome, and I do want to see this here again. So let's we'll back it up to about like I don't know what, just under. Well, we could pretty much start it right here. By the time I get the volume up, we'll watch it count down from T-30, and let's watch the launch again. Then we'll maybe skip ahead a little bit, watch the landings, and we'll look at the center core again, and let's check it out. This is awesome. Can't get enough of this. And we'll see that water tower pouring water out from the top.
15 seconds.
Vehicle flight pressures.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition, liftoff.
Super close camping. I gotta move it on this.
Vehicle is downrange.
We'll come back to it again. That super close camera angle was pretty awesome.
15 seconds.
Vehicle flight pressures.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition, liftoff.
Vehicles pushing downrange.
And we're beginning deep throttle. throttle.
T-plus 33 seconds into flight. Under the power of 5.1 million pounds of thrust, Falcon Heavy is headed to space.
You
We're
can see
throttling down at T-plus 40 seconds to prepare for maximum dynamic pressure.
You can see if you watch the engine exhaust, you can see how that center core engine exhaust is a little bit shorter because they throttle down that center core, so it's not throttled as high as the side boosters are.
Power and telemetry are nominal.
We're hearing reports. Power and telemetry are nominal.
Vehicle is supersonic.
How awesome was this, though?
You may have heard the call out on Net 1. Vehicle is supersonic. Side boosters are throttling back up on power as we're through the period of maximum dynamic pressure. Trajectory looking good. You can hear the applause behind me as we've gotten past maximum dynamic pressure. Next event coming up is chill-in of the MVAC-D engine. Get the turbo pump ready to ignite the main engine on the second stage in another couple of minutes. Merlin engine performance looks good. We've begun dropping power on the side boosters to decrease loads on the center core.
So Jimmy wants to know why the landing legs are black. That black is a thermal protection coating. That's new to the Block 5 boosters. They added that thermal protection coating, really protect the landing legs and help make them
decrease loads to minimize acceleration on the Falcon Heavy structure.
It protects
Coming up on booster engine cutoff, called BECO, and separation of the two side boosters.
So the black protects the landing legs so that they can be reused more easily and a lot faster than without them. It takes a lot more refurbishing. They take a lot more stress and a lot more damage from re-entry and landing.
Booster separation confirmed.
Look at that.
Successful separation if you can hear me over the cheering. Side boosters now beginning a flip to begin returning back to Cape Canaveral. Side boosters have begun the boost back burn. The center core has throttled back up to power.
Rob C wants to know if there's still a live stream of Starman out there. There is not. Starman only had like 6 hours worth of battery when he launched. So once the battery ran out for the cameras, then he was there. Or maybe it was 12 hours worth of battery. Whatever it was a short battery life. So it was only a couple hours after launch that Starman could broadcast those images. So unfortunately, they're not receiving live video anymore from the Tesla and Starman. Starman is still out there and will be out there for millions of years, but they're not streaming any video. So anyway, somebody else asked about the Arabsat CEO, said Falcon Heavy gave Arabsat additional life. What does that mean? Essentially means that Falcon Heavy did a lot more work than like a typical Falcon 9 would do, and so the spacecraft itself does not need as much fuel and as much delta V to get it into its intended orbit than it would need if it was launched on a Falcon 9 or some other similar rocket. So Falcon 9 could potentially launch this payload. But they contracted with Falcon Heavy, and that eases a little bit of the burden on the satellite provider, so they don't have to carry as much fuel. They don't have to create as much delta V there to get it to its intended orbit. So let's see. All right, we'll skip ahead a little bit here. I want to get to the landings. I want to get to where is the side core landing. There we go.
Seconds here, the side boosters landing burn will begin as well.
Here is the landing burn for the side boosters.
Side booster landing burn has started.
Here's my favorite part.
going crazy right now. Both side boosters has landed on our landing pads. Zone 1 and Zone 2.
It is so awesome. That's my favorite part of the whole launch right there. Is that. That's crazy.
Now we're waiting
So
for the
there's
engine
that,
to
and then we
shut
have the
down on the
center
second
core
stage
landing here.
and for the center core to land. Now, if all
Landing.
Stage 1,
And we are
starting.
landing on our drone ship. Of course, I still love you.
This is where the landing burn started. We didn't really get a good view of the center core landing. We get a bit of shake them up. And then the video cuts out from the shaking.
Looks
Lose
like
the
we
video
lost the
connection.
live view.
Unfortunately.
Waiting for some confirmation, and
then they gave confirmation.
it sounds like we landed the center core on our drone ship. But we have landed the center core for the first time on our drone ship. Of course, I still love you. For the first time, we've landed all 3 boosters for Falcon Heavy. What an amazing day. So now we are going to take a quick break.
Right there. That's what I was waiting for.
You can hear our crowd going wild.
Pretty much right in the middle there, too. A little tiny bit off center, but pretty darn close.
What an amazing
A lot closer than the last one.
So now the primary mission is still going well. We are about to enter the coast phase, so we're going to take a quick break. But we'll leave you with an animation that shows you where we are throughout the coast phase.
All right, so that was pretty much what we had there for Falcon Heavy today. That's it, folks. We got a successful flight, successful launch, successful satellite deployment. 3 for 3 on the booster landings. Both side cores. The center core was awesome. So awesome. Oh, God, I love that. I wish they did more of these, but that was awesome. I'm sure as they get more, they're more successful, feeling comfortable with the Block 5 Falcon Heavy, they'll start to get more contracts and start to do more here. That's going to be pretty awesome. And who knows? Maybe the Starship and the Super Heavy from SpaceX will take over. Maybe we won't see that much Falcon Heavy. Maybe they'll just jump right to the Starship and the Super Heavy, because Elon did say that they want to try to fast track that, and they think that's the future of the company is to go that route. So I don't know how much Falcon Heavy we'll see, but then you also got the question about the SLS program, like what's going on with SLS? Are they ever going to finish that? Are they just going to scrap it? Maybe they'll move to Falcon Heavy, because Falcon Heavy's ready now. Like all you just got to rate it for human flight, and Falcon Heavy's ready now. It's launching. So who knows? Maybe they'll use that. And then there was the crazy question that people have been throwing out and saying, like, well, maybe they'll use a Falcon Heavy boosters in first stage, and the second stage with the Centaur upper stage from United Launch Alliance. So they'd actually combine forces like Captain Planet, and they combine forces between ULA and SpaceX, the 2 competing companies, and maybe they combine and launch some sort of like Frankenstein Falcon Heavy Centaur launch. That would be crazy. Who knows? We don't know what the future is, but it's a good sign for SpaceX, for space flight industry in general, to have a successful Falcon Heavy flight, because it's giving us more options for space flights. More options is good. It's going to help drive competition, bring the cost down. I mean, Falcon Heavy, especially landing 3 for 3 on the boosters and the center core, that keeps the cost down so much to recover 3 out of 3 of the cores. That's crazy. This is an awesome launch. Christy says, it's nice to see someone who's so excited and passionate about something. I know, I get crazy about this. I love it. It's awesome. I love this. It's so exciting. Oh, man. It would take NASA 20 years to do this. I know NASA is taking a while to get the SLS program going. It is taking a long time, and it's unfortunate, because I wanted to see that thing launch. It's supposed to be a crazy powerful rocket, but it's just taking forever. Let's get it going here. Safely, obviously. Got to do it safely. Let's see. Somebody, Gregorius answering some kind of question about something on the boosters. How does the drone ship keep the booster in place? So after it lands, it pretty much just lands just like it is, and the drone ship itself has all kinds of diesel engines on it that keep it balanced and try to keep it in place. So that ship it's not just floating there; it's much more advanced than a regular boat. So it's trying to keep that deck as level as possible and keep it in the same position. It's a pretty intense ship there. But after it lands, then they have the Octograbber, I believe, or is that on the West Coast? But anyways, they on one coast, now I forget, I'm drawing a blank here. On one coast, I think it's the East Coast, they have the Octograbber that's an autonomous, it looks like a little Roomba thing. They can, and then grabs onto it, and then it has clamps that clamp onto the ship. And on the other coast, they just bolt it and weld it to the deck itself. So they actually have safety crews that go out there and then weld it down and bolt it to the deck after it lands. They land the rocket, they safe the rocket, they make sure all the, it's not going to go kaboom while the crew is on there. They land it, safe the rocket, and then they're going to clamp it or bolt it down to the deck for the actual trip in. But they don't do that right away. It pretty much just lands and just sits there. If you look at some of the earlier SpaceX videos, early on, the drone ship had an issue during one of them, and they couldn't keep the deck level, and so the booster was kind of like sliding this way and then sliding this way, and kept sliding, and everybody was afraid it was going to fall off. But yeah, that drone ship does a lot of work, and then it gets bolted down. I'm assuming, of course, I Still Love You does not have people on board, right? Thus the term drone. Yes, there are no people on the drone ship, not when it lands. There are people around on the support ships, and usually they, there you go. So Gregoria says, according to Wiki, of course I Still Love You is the one that has the Octograbber. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought that was the one they had, because that's on the East Coast where they do a lot more flights and thus a lot more landings on the East Coast, and so it made sense to me that the Octograbber would be on the East Coast. But for some reason, I was thinking of there's a spaceflight photographer for Teslarati out on the West Coast, and I thought she was the one that was taking pictures of the Octograbber, but I must be mistaken on that, or maybe she was on the East Coast taking pictures of it. But anyway, so the Octograbber, it's a little like well, I shouldn't say little, it's huge, but it kind of looks like a Roomba, cute little Roomba, but it's a huge Roomba. Little goes out, grabs it, clamps itself down to the deck. That's what they got on the East Coast. And on the West Coast, they just bolt it down. And I think they weld it too. It's welded and bolted. So anyways, of course, I Still Love You. The drone ship does not have people on board. There's support ships around there that have all the people. The people, they basically tug it out and out to sea. And then the people get the drone ship ready. They get on board, and then they leave the drone ship hours before launch. So they can get they want to get far enough away that if the rocket comes in off course, that they're nowhere nearby in any sort of danger area. So they leave the drone ship a couple hours ahead of time, and then they come back after the rocket's been safed. But this is another reason why they don't get great live video from it. I mean, there's nobody there to help control the live video, and it's really not that crazy important to the mission to have live video. Let's see. When does the Falcon 9 rocket itself return? Will we hear the sonic boom? Well, that has already happened. The two side core boosters, they have returned, and if you were in the area for that return, you would definitely have heard not just one sonic boom, you would have heard 6 sonic booms during landing. So during landing, you get 6 sonic booms, basically 3 from each booster. That's the engine bells, the landing legs, and the grid fins, all 3 of them breaking through the sound barrier as they go transonic, below the speed of sound. As they go transonic, they break the sound barrier. You get 6 sonic booms, 3 from one, 3 from the other, usually spaced apart just a tiny little bit because they're offset when they land. They kind of land like this. And so if you're watching it in person, you'd hear all 6. They go bum bum bum, bum bum bum. It's pretty cool to see. I've never heard it in person. I've watched videos and heard it. I really want to see it or hear it in person. What is the fairing? The fairing is the protective nose cone that protects the satellite during launch. Once they get out of the atmosphere and into the vacuum of space, they jettison the fairing. and then that comes back to Earth. For today, it did a soft landing, and then those support ships that I was talking about that are around the drone ship, they go pick it up and bring it back in after it does a soft landing. So, isn't there another ship out there to capture the footage, or just one from the drone ship itself? There's actually like 4 ships that are out there. And they used to do that. I don't know why they don't still do that, but they used to give us live video from one of the support ships as it was coming in. But the support ships are actually pretty far away. And so the live video that you used to get from the support ships, they got it, I think there were a couple night launches that they got it from, and it was a lot of their earlier launches when they were still trying to figure it out and see if they could get it right. But they don't do that anymore. I wish they would. I really would like better video of the drone ship landing, but yeah, they don't do it. According to the plan, GoQuest is helping with the core recovery. Go Navigator is attempting a manual fairing recovery. Yep, and I think Go Searcher is also out there helping with support as well. I think Go Searcher is helping with fairing recovery, but yeah, Go Searcher and Go Navigator. I think there's a third. I don't know. I'd have to go back and check. You got the drone ship, Go Searcher, Go Navigator, and I thought there was a 4th ship out there as well. But I could be wrong. Let's see. It should have heard the sonic boom from the shuttle re-entries. I know, that would have been awesome. I tried to watch STS-134. I was out there for it. I was there, ready for launch, and then they scrubbed it like 2 hours before launch or something like that. And I couldn't. They didn't end up launching it till like 3 weeks later. And obviously, I couldn't stay in Florida for 3 weeks. But I tried. I tried really hard to go see STS-134. I was there. I was so close, but I didn't see it. Let's see. I want to know if there's any launch views from the ISS perspective. Well, the space station has. They have done some views of the Soyuz launching, but the only reason that works is because the space station passes pretty much overhead the launch site right before launch. So the space station passes overhead, and then they launch, and then the spacecraft ends up catching up to it. This flight was not going to be in the same inclination as the space station. The space station wasn't overhead. The space station wasn't even anywhere nearby, so the space station could not record this launch. But usually it's usually going to be like a crewed mission or a cargo mission that's actually going to the space station that you could record the launch from the space station. And so they've actually been doing that quite a bit recently with the Soyuz launches. They've been recording them from the space station and then sharing the video. They're kind of cool. Let's see. What happens to the top section after payload delivery? Do they send it away, or does it just become another piece of junk floating around in the way of future flights? So I believe for this flight, it will become a piece of junk. So they generally have, let me just verify this here real quick. I want to look at my map. So make sure I was right on that. Yeah, so they don't have there's no hazard area for the second stage. So on some flights, they do, if they can, they like to be good spacefaring citizens, and they try to deorbit the second stage and get it to burn up in the atmosphere. But in others, particularly like in this one, they used up all their fuel. They have no way to slow it down and deorbit it. So they just put it into what's called a disposal orbit. That's basically a very lightly populated or scarcely populated orbital path. And that's where it stays. There's a disposal orbit. So it gets tracked by, what's the organization that tracks all the space junk? I can't remember it off the top of my head. But anyways, it gets tracked so people know where it is. We know where a lot of things are in space. It would amaze you to see how many things are being tracked in space, and their positions and everything else. But yeah, they pretty much just leave it out there in that disposal orbit, and that's where it stays. And so, yeah, and I don't think, sometimes they deorbit them, but usually if they deorbit them, they generally will publish a NOTAM and basically a hazard area saying, like, this is where it's going to come down, like watch out. But they did not publish that for this flight, which usually means they're going to put it in a disposal orbit. So if they're going to deorbit it, usually they would publish a hazard area for where the deorbit is going to take place, where the re-entry is going to take place. Let's see. How long till we put people on the Falcon 9 or the Dragon? Well, that's right now. It could be as early as July. So we're looking at as early as 3 months from now. So we got one prerequisite before we do that, which is the in-flight abort test of the Crew Dragon and the Falcon 9. So that is scheduled for May. And basically what that's going to do, it's going to launch an uncrewed Crew Dragon on a Falcon 9. Right around like max Q, it's going to fire an abort, like there was some sort of emergency, in-flight emergency. It's going to fire an abort. The Crew Dragon is going to separate and go through the whole in-flight abort procedure. As long as that goes well, then they're scheduled as early as July for the first crewed mission. So that's going to be pretty exciting. So that's a big thing coming up here for SpaceX. I watched the night launch in '98. Went back to my hotel, top floor. John Glenn was in the hallway chatting. That's pretty cool. In-flight abort test no sooner than, Gregory says no sooner than June now. All right, well, it was May. I guess it's no sooner than June. So it could be getting pushed off a little bit, but that's to be expected. I mean, they had the demo mission just not too long ago, and so there could be things that they want to change and get incorporated so that they can test them again during the in-flight abort procedure. So, but anyway, it sounds like the in-flight abort is scheduled for June now. All right, what else did we miss? And then we're going to kind of wrap up here. At what degree did the rocket turn? When it will be launched? Well, I know the orbital inclination for this flight was about 30 degrees, which is generally, that's the number of degrees latitude that it goes above or below the equator. I'm not sure on your question there. So Brad Adams, did you call something the octograbber earlier? Do you know where that name came from? So the octograbber, like OCTA grabber, like grab on. The octograbber. I don't know if that's the official name or that's just what the SpaceX fan community calls it, but the octograbber is it OCTA or OCTO? I don't know. Anyways, the octa or octograbber. That's the little Roomba thing that grabs onto the bottom of the Falcon boosters or the Falcon 9 when it lands to strap it down. It gets that name because there's on the bottom of the Falcon 9 or even the boosters, there's something called the octaweb, which is basically the steel structure that separates all the engines and keeps the engines contained away from each other. And it's there for structural support and also for separation and containment in case something happens. But the octaweb on the bottom, the octograbber grabs onto the octaweb. And the octaweb that's an official term from SpaceX. The octograbber, I don't know if that's an official term. That might just be a SpaceX fan-based term. But that's what everybody calls it, the octograbber. Jordy says it's able to grab 8 lobsters at once. Let's see. There, Gregorius put a link with a picture on it. Thank you, Gregorius. What else do we miss? Do we know who the first crew members will be? So the first crew members on the SpaceX Dragon is Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley. Those are the first two crew members that are selected to fly that first crewed mission. You imagine that? Think about trying to be the first 2 people to ride on a rocket ever, on that rocket ever, and in that crew vessel ever. That is Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley Those are the two brave souls that will be on board and flying the very first Falcon 9 crewed mission with a Crew Dragon capsule. Yeah. So what else did we miss here? Colin McCavitt says, love these casts. Thanks for doing them. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. How high is the orbit in lobster units? It's hard to do a conversion to lobster units. I mean, I have to get a calculator out. A lot of tough math to get to lobster units. So I don't know if I can do that on the fly. They will send lobsters up as a test for the in-flight abort test. They should. That's what they should do. Mike is full of lobster references, and I love it. All right, friends, I think I'm going to wrap this up here. We covered quite a bit. It was a very, very exciting launch here. Exciting launch, exciting landing. 3 for 3 on the landings. That's awesome. I couldn't have envisioned it any better. So, all right. Well, and I just saw, I think Sebi Time Waster just sent us a message over on the Discord channel here that says apparently we broke 5,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. That's a big deal. Well, awesome. Well, thanks to everybody that subscribed to the YouTube channel. I know we're not, we're not the PewDiePie channel over here, or the Markipliers, or the whoever the big YouTube. We're not Scott Manley, or all these other YouTube channels that have hundreds of thousands of people, but we try to have a little fun, try to be some entertaining. And so if you subscribe along, I appreciate it. I have fun. I'll be here. I'm watching these. I'm having fun. I'm having a good time. I hope you guys are having a good time as well. So if you did and you're enjoying yourself, well then throw a little subscribe on the YouTube channel. If you're watching on Periscope or Facebook, maybe like the channel, follow the page, all that kind of good stuff. Throw some hearts over on Periscope. Oh, you know what to do. Yeah, you heard it a million times. You're on YouTube, you subscribe, you hit the little bell so you get notifications. You've heard it a million times. So anyways, Jordy says you're welcome. I wasn't aware of you guys before today. Well, glad you joined us, Jordy. Appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of people left after the giveaways. Yeah, right. I know that happens all the time. Everybody comes for the giveaways, and then if they don't win, they're out of here. Gregorius has video of the Roomba. Do we want to watch video of the Octograbber? So can I show this video? It's it's U.S. launch reports. I don't want them to get upset if I play their video. So you can look at the YouTube video there that Gregorius commented on the YouTube channel, and you can see the Octograbber. I don't want to play it here because I think they might get upset with copyright wise if I play their video. Okay. Leadfoot says enjoyed it. Pony says thanks. Congratulations on the giveaway win there, Pony. They only want you for your buttons. Well, don't forget, as soon as I end this stream, I'm going to jump on the shop there, and I'm going to throw some of the Overlook Horizon buttons on the shop. So if you do want to get one, jump over there, and any purchase you make in the Overlook Horizon shop helps fund our weather balloon flights, which are coming up soon. This spring and summer, hopefully. So there you go. I guess I got to figure out what the cost is. I don't know what the cost is on these buttons. You have to tell me what you're willing to pay for a button. What do you think the cost should be on a button? I have to go look and see what we paid for the buttons. I mean, obviously, I can't sell them to you for less than what we paid. And generally, we try to make a little bit of profit so we can help support our educational goals, our weather balloon flights. It helps support our streams. So you got to have the streaming software, and I got the lights and the microphones. It all costs money. Somebody's got it. So it's non-profit. Nobody's walking away with profit here, but you have to let me know what you think a button is worth, and we'll put it in the shop. We'll sell it out. 2 lobsters, $1 million, says Jordy. Wow, Jordy, I will give you the entire bag of buttons if you want to send over $1 million, you can have the entire bag of buttons and give them all to you. So there we. Yeah, I want to see if I missed anything on the Facebooks or any announcements or anything. I don't think so. So I think we covered it all. I think we're good to go. Any closing thoughts? Don't forget the beach ball. Oh, the beach ball weather balloon experiment. Yeah, Gregorius, thanks for the reminder. Right, I did forget about that. So one of the things, we do our own weather balloon flights, right? It's kind of what the channel started as. Now we do a whole bunch of SpaceX stuff too. But anyways, we are going to launch on a weather balloon one of these beach balls. Essentially, we're going to kind of basically blow it up and then launch it to the edge of space, and we're going to see if it makes it. Big pressure difference from ground level to the edge of space. I mean, it's not a huge pressure difference. It's only like 15 psi from sea level to vacuum. And so we want to see at what altitude it fails at, or if it fails at all. Will it make it the entire way, or will it fail? And I figure we do like Price is Right rules. We'll have some sort of contest, and if you can guess the altitude that it fails at without going over, then you win the beach ball that actually went to space and that's ruined, and I'll sign it and send you that one, and then I'll send you a new one too. So you get 2 beach balls. That's the plan for the beach ball weather balloon experiment. I think that'll be fun. Let's see. Why is the grid fin not solid? Well, the grid fin, yeah, they're basically they're controlling aerodynamically the boosters, and so all those little waffling there, it's just a bunch of places for the air to pass through, and so it can tilt like this, and they can deflect the air. So if the air is coming this way, it hits the grid fin and then deflects that way, and that's what helps aerodynamically control the booster as it comes down. And so they've found through their engineering that having all those different surface areas and the waffle pattern helps better control versus having like a fin or like a canard on top to control it. So they seem to get better precision with the grid fin design. Watch some of the past weather balloon launches. That's awesome. Wish I could get my daughter involved in balloon launches. Yeah, you should definitely take a look at it. We got a whole how-to section on our website on how to get involved in launching a weather balloon. You can do it yourself. It's a DIY project. You got to follow the safety regulations. They're not hard. They're pretty easy. But you follow the safety regulations. You can DIY, do it yourself at home, and you can launch a weather balloon with your daughter. You could do it. I'm telling you, it might sound hard. You do a little bit of reading. You can do it. She can do it. You can let her do it. I don't know how old she is, but she can do it. You just watch. Just encourage her. Encourage her to do it and help out. Let's see. Beach ball in space. I know. Wouldn't that be fun? I predict it will fail at 120,000 lobsters above sea level. By the way, the grid fins are the size of a bed. Yeah, they do. They always do look pretty small, but they're huge. Those are big, big grid fins. Did it launch? Yeah, the launch is over. We're just about to wrap up here. Launch has landed in glorious fashion, according to Donald. They say we can meet them in person as soon as we develop a warp drive. Who are you meeting in person? The space lobsters? So lobster is the official international unit of measurement. Yeah, well, for this channel, yeah. Pretty much everything on the Falcon 9 is bigger than it seems in the video. Isn't that the truth? Yeah, I mean, it is big. It always looks pretty tiny on video, but the Falcon 9 is very large. Can we send a lobster out with a weather balloon? We did that already. We did that last year. Overlook Horizon 15. If you want to see some cool videos or pictures of our space lobster in space, go check out overlookhorizon.com and look up Flight 15. That was our space lobster flight. Salvatore saw the launch from Claremont, Florida. That is awesome. I'm jealous if you saw it in person. All right, everybody. I think we've been going for almost 3 hours here now. I think it's time to wrap it up. We had a lot of fun. I'm so happy that the Falcon Heavy went off today and it was successful and everything went just the way it was supposed to. That was awesome. And I'm glad we had so many people hanging out and subscribing to the channel and following along with us. Hopefully you guys had fun. I had some fun, and hopefully you had some fun with me. But yeah, there we go. My name's Tori, and I had some fun with you. So hopefully you guys come back and join me for the next live stream that we have. We got some more flights coming up. We got a CRS mission coming up at the end of this month. We got in-flight abort. We got Starlink. We've got the STP-2 mission. We've got the Crew Dragon coming up. So we got a lot to cover. We got a lot happening. Plus, we got our own weather balloon flights. Our own weather balloon flights coming up. I'm excited about those. I'm excited about our tree recovery system. If you haven't seen it, here I keep saying I'm going to end the video, but I'm stuck. I got so many things that I want to talk about. Let me see if I can find our tree recovery system here. This is a very preliminary view of it. Where, let's see, how do I? Oh, here, I know how to find it. We'll just go on Twitter and find it. This would be the easier way to find it. That's sad when I got to find my own content by going to Twitter. Let's see, somewhere on our Twitter account, there it is. And we'll put this here, and we can switch you over to this screen here like this. So yeah, so what you're looking at, so here's one of the things that we've had a problem with our weather balloons, which we're trying to develop a solution for. But the problem is you can launch it, you can control where the launch is. The landing happens, we can roughly control the landing, but it's like plus or minus 5 miles. Like you get a 5-mile radius and it's going to land somewhere in there. There's a lot of stuff in 5 miles, trees, power lines. I don't know, we seem to always land in a tree. So this is our solution to get it out of the tree. This is a remote controlled cut down device. So the jug of water there, that's a weight mass simulator there. That's basically simulating the weight and the mass of our payload. And there's a string that's hanging from the beams in our workshop there. That's basically simulating. This is basically simulating our payload hanging from a tree. And so now there's an electronic nichrome hot wire cut down that can be remotely controlled from the ground, hopefully, if it works well. And so we come up to it, we're like, oh man, it's stuck in a tree. How are we going to get it down? Push the button, boom, cuts the line, cuts right through it, basically burns the line, drops it down from the tree so it's no longer cut. That's what we're working on. Kind of cool. I'm excited about it. I want to get this, we got to get it polished up a little bit, make it look nice, make it compact so it fits in so it's lightweight. And then boom, cut it down. You can kind of see the glow. If you look, let me back it up here. I can get this beach ball out of the way. If I back it up here, yeah, so right after it cuts it down, if you look right, if you look right here, you can kind of see the glow from the nichrome wire. So there's a little tiny bit of nichrome wire in here. It's not very long. It's only like, maybe like 2 or 3 centimeters long. It's not very long. It's, but you can see the glow from the nichrome wire. It basically heats up really, really hot, melts the wire, cuts it, or melts the string, cuts it, and then it only stays on for a couple seconds, and then you'll see it power off here. Boom, there it goes, gone. There goes the glow. Kind of cool. That's what we're working on. So we got to get that system in place. Once that system's in place, then we'll be ready to launch our flights this year, and we'll see how it goes. So Gregorius says you got to be careful. Nichrome is brittle. Yeah, that is one thing that we're concerned about, whether or not, if the nichrome lasts throughout the flight, like if it's coming down and it's getting shaken around or anything like that, if it cracks or it breaks or anything like that, and it breaks that connection, we won't be able to activate it. That would not be good, but that's what we're going to try. What are the chances it might start a fire? It's just on for a brief moment, and it's not really hot enough to start a fire. You don't want to go touching it. I mean, it's hot enough where it would burn your finger, but it's not enough where it would start a fire, especially if it's up in a live living tree. And it's just a tiny amount, and it's wrapped pretty tightly around the string. So there's not really, the only thing it'll be touching is the string there. It turns on for, I think, like 3 seconds, then it shuts off and be done. That's the idea. So much for spoiler. Burn the line. Yep, that's the idea. Trees, power lines, the usual. Klingon, what else? I missed the launch. Gonna have to watch the replay. Yep, definitely gonna have to watch the replay. Do you speak German? I do not speak German, no. The system is so complex. Vulcan, Red Lobster gift cards next time, please. I know, I wish we could do that. Thanks again for live stream. All right, yeah. So I think we're good. We covered it. So that's what you got to look forward to for some of our upcoming weather balloon flights. So there we go. Somebody else ordered a Space Lobster sticker. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the Space Lobster sticker order. Yeah, don't need Tori on the news for starting a forest fire. Yeah, hopefully not. Been a crazy night. This was exciting. I'll throw up here my slate one more time here because now we're gonna end it. I said it like 14 times now. I think I said it like an hour ago, but we're gonna end it now. This was a lot of fun. Falcon Heavy, awesome. 3 for 3 on the booster landings. This was fantastic. Well, thank you everybody for joining along with us. I had a lot of fun. I hope you had fun. A lot of people stuck around, so I'm assuming you had fun. Subscribe to the channel. We're having a good time, and we'll be back again for another SpaceX launch. We'll be back for our weather balloon launches. We got a lot coming up this spring and summer. So join in. We'll have some fun. And we'll see you guys all on the next stream here, right? All right. Well, thanks, everybody. My name's Tori. This is Overlook Horizon. We had some fun. We'll see you on the next one. See ya.